as you find yourselves walking towards this cold, old, frozen main hall. Lulu did have a little bit of a joke at the expense of our gnome friend last week when she made him think something was coming up out of the water at him, but I'm pretty smooth beyond that. Now, I will say there is still some lingering magic in this old place. You see water flowing from out the statue in the middle of the Pegasus, very slowly, making it move and spin gently here. The motion probably the only thing keeping the water from actually freezing.
Oh, and we found out that the arcane cantrips are is doubled, or not quite doubled, but
Magic is surging. At the moment, things were having a doubling effect on some of your spells. But surging magic is never a good thing.
Imber's having flashbacks.
We all know the PTSD dog, right? I'm just going to reference that meme because it's a nice one for the scenario.
so alright. So Nimbar has seen this kind of thing from the spell plague.
Indeed.
Do you know? So do you know if it's how localized is it? Is it like, can it be? Is it just random? Will there be like pockets of surges, or is it like an entire place?
Nimbar probably would just answer yes a second time at that question. It's not often I lean in, but that's...
Yeah.
I figure it's a good joke. But also very much the truth. Wild surging magic. And I'll give this information out since Nimbar would know it, but John's kind of probably playing the guessing game because he's like, Alan, this you said surging magic, not me. Wild surging magic is dangerous by its very nature. You might get a flashback to a conversation that Alec once had with a mechanical sheep that used to be a friend of his.
Okay.
The surging of randomness of magic when it's gone wild can make a robotic sheep appear, as you recall. So you can only dare dream what this area, flooded with it for some reason, would create. It's giving Nimbar the willies, though.
Guys, clearly I knew this all along, which is why I've made characters to prepare you for it.
You hear Isaac cracking his knuckles too, probably like, hey now, we're not in this alone. But for anyone casting any degree of spells, magic, or magical effects, be forewarned. This could be crazier than Avernus turning your dude into an imp.
Okay. So I'm thinking that maybe I won't summon anything here.
Does the summon snakes get to double the amount?
Oh god.
The imp sits on your shoulder. Kamashag. You see he rubs his jaw and he goes, but boss, maybe I could be a dragon. And he nods once. Yeah.
As fun as that would be.
Yeah, what if, though, right, you don't come back as you as a dragon, well, Tiamat pops up on my shoulder.
He pauses, he gives a rub to his jaw and then nods and says, that'd still be bitchin'.
True.
His mouth's somewhat more foul than it used to be. Seems to be slightly corrupted. By the imp nature. Or maybe just the fact that, like Tiamat metal bands, all that stuff. Whatever.
Yeah.
It's not like you're ever going to fight Tiamat in this campaign. The DM says out loud.
Oh. Well, I mean, the real question is which version? Is there not a couple floating around now?
Little bit. Maybe both. At the same time. I'll quote Doctor Who, timey-wimey bullshit.
Timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly.
So there is little bits and pieces to explore inside this cavern. And like I said, I'll be honest, I'm still finishing up other pieces of the map, so I'm not actually watching your minis. Warn me if you move out of the room and start browsing around. I'll be caught up in just a second.
I've already checked all the map, don't worry about it.
Oh, I got it locked down on other areas you can't walk through, so I know that ain't true. But not all of it. I don't always do that because I kind of like it more like real life where you just pick your mini up and say, well, I'm freaking over here now. And the DM's like, no, you're not. Oh.
Oh, didn't mean to stand on number.
You want to stand on the water instead?
No, I just, my keyboard's going a bit crazy.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I've got weird symbols on my token.
What?
Oh, you had some form of a bonus going on.
Oh.
Or maybe
Yep.
you were under surprise condition. I'm going to clear some of those off. Let's see here.
Do you put them with, that's like the assigned status effect thing, or is that a different?
Yeah, the
Right,
when you're hovering
yeah.
over your mini on the right side, I don't know if you'll see it. It looks like a Super Saiyan aura around your character.
Yep.
If you click on that, it'll pop up a bunch of pop-ups. A left click will put it in the corner, a right click removes it, and right click when you have nothing makes it over your whole character.
Oh, okay, cool.
I make really good use of those in combat. They save me a lot of headache. Oh, and I gotta fix Jillian's as well for Flux.
You can also
There we go.
stack them up by left clicking on them multiple times.
Yep, there's a way to tie that in actually with the turn order configurator, so that every time a turn goes by, it'll go down by one. So any of those long-standing effects when you slap them on things, but we've never actually had to see that happen because you all kill things very quickly. Very, very quickly.
Well, if we don't, they would kill us.
That's the plan.
All right, so we have a few different options of ways to go. We have 1, 2, 3, 4.
Looks
I
that
hope
way.
everyone can see the arrow.
Did we have a look at those bones to see what they were from? I mean, they look big in the map, or is that just like so we can see them, or are they like giant bones?
Slightly to the map effect on that one, but they are humanoid
Okay.
bones.
Right. Okay.
Definitely not NPCs though, because they're over 6 foot by the look of them. Those poor
Huh.
players who did this dungeon before you.
They were all furbolgs.
Oh god. Or minotaurs.
Or minotaurs. Yep.
Goliath?
No, not Goliaths. Their bones don't bleach. They calcify. Or something. I don't know. So there are a number of little things in this room, as you notice with Lulu sitting comfortably on the chair. And as mentioned, this area almost seems to be flash frozen. This was implying that this whole area was shunted to the 8th layer of Kanya by some exceptionally powerful 11th layer magic, as determined last week. Because you don't know of any 10th level spells capable of something that crazy, so you would only assume it's the next tier up. Even then, though, that's just an assumption. Magic permeates and radiates through this place. You can still see the cobblework below your feet of the area that it used to be. And Lulu, perches quite comfortably on an entry bench. As she looks over the water, just flops down, gives an, oh my word, it's some cold out there, oh my poor toesies. And she starts rubbing in between her rather large elephant-style toes while shaking the snow out from behind her ears.
Oh yeah, because of course she can't fly here.
Nope. She just looks right at Alec. She shoots a small glare. She's like, "This walking is bullshit."
That's just, well, especially when you're walking and you're drunk.
Lulu gives a shake of her head. "No, I think that might make it a little better right now."
The other Alec didn't have that problem.
Oh.
You've just made yourself an enemy for life.
And I'm just... Oh, wait. Where's Courtney's mini? Let me make sure I bring that forward. So let me see here. Taking a look, I'm pretty sure... Passive perception. Jade still has the highest, I believe?
Probably. Mine's is a 23.
His is 25. That's why I mentioned it. But...
Mine's 16. So, you know.
Guys, I got you all beat. Mine's 9.
Ever since I made Alec as a character, I can't not make a character that has perception.
Oh, it's...
I don't know what it is. It's like, seeing things is super powerful.
It is,
so handy.
Yeah.
One of the most useful abilities. Jade,
It's my,
as he creeps through this area, looking down at the stonework and with his friends. As he makes it to this front opening area, you swear for a brief moment. You hear the laughter of children out the corner of your ear, though you can't specifically place it.
Yikes. Just heads up, everyone. I did get a Courtney update. She did definitely fall back asleep. She said she had a rough night last night, but she will be on in a few minutes.
Oh, tell her not to rush.
Yeah, no, I don't think she's going to, so I won't bother. But yeah, she'll be on eventually. Yeah, I told her we just got started without her, and she said that's totally fine, and she'll be on soon.
I've totally done that. Like, you know what?
Yeah.
Being awake is bullshit. I'm going back to bed.
I definitely messaged her boyfriend and was like, Jordan.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Getting flashbacks to like some random house that we went into, but it wasn't everyone here. It's the oddest thing.
Oh. Lulu's looking over. Well, was it a nice house? I don't think I was there.
You alright, Jade? What you talking about? Follow my fingers? Look at the light?
Lulu give a shake of her head. Next thing he's going to be saying he saw Dusty there too. Ho, 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 ho.
You know what happens? Sometimes I think I see Dusty. Little flashbacks of my buddy.
Lulu walk over, give you a slight pat on the shoulder, say, "Oh, it's okay. He'd be really proud how fast you went."
You know what? I didn't consider that, and I blew up at the end. So just like him in a way.
Yeah, I was pretty sure you're gonna get nuked by that one. And the DM's like, "I tried. I really did. I hit him like 3 times, but he decided, no, Gold Dragon, I need all the defense." But the way it rolls.
Okay.
I will point out the children laughter, and it's probably a trap.
Yes, almost certainly.
Lily gives a frown. "Oh, great, that just sounds wonderful. This whole area went from being cute to creepy in like 3 seconds. Fudge."
Yeah.
Does anybody else did anybody else obsessively watch the Firefly bloopers? And every time someone says it's a trap, you just hear Nathan Fillion yelling, "Trap!" No, is that just me?
No,
Okay,
I think
cool. Sorry.
just you. I'm spoiled with the Star Wars. It's a trap whenever I hear trap, so.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
But I've never watched the
see
Firefly
if I can-
bloopers. I might have to give those a watch.
I'll see if I can find. I'll see if I can find the clip on YouTube. But
A good
yeah.
set of bloopers is totally worth it. I love silly, ridiculous, jokey things. Like that video I threw up from Phoenix Wright, except it's Duga recounting it. Because you can imagine after the ship crash lands and he gets off, like everybody bailed. Poor little crazy guy. But I digress. You're inside the middle of a gigantic magical area.
So, you just heard that, the laughter, you didn't get a beat in where it was coming from.
Nowhere specific. Too many echoes. Just heard it out the corner of his ear.
Yeah, I mean, normally I would be all for saving children, but given that we're in hell and in a terrifying magic academy, I would probably go in the opposite direction to the children's laughing. Best case scenario, it's a trap. Or best case scenario, there's bait and we save the souls of some children. Worst case, it's just a straight up trap. Or, given how time's messed up, we see our younger selves and they get killed in front of our eyes. I mean, that won't be traumatizing at all. Just seeing if I can hear
how
Alan's
much
pencil
younger?
scratching.
Lulu sort of walks over.
How much younger are you talking?
Well, I mean, I'm only like just over 30, man, so
Nimbar
even
still
if
be
it's
great.
half our age,
All right,
he'd be
so,
fine.
so you're all gonna be like 5, and then Nimbar's still going to be ancient.
Jade might not be there. He's only 19.
That's true. The most terrifying thing about a 5-year-old Alec is he definitely didn't wear underwear under his kilt when he was young.
Yeah, no, that's traditional.
Okay, I guess we should pick a direction to go. Anyone get any strong feelings?
Well, actually, before we do that, this place still radiates some level magic. I don't know who remembers, but we did get the spell book of a god killer who had an 11th level spell in his spell book. So that's kind of at the front of my mind, which made me think about something. All this started shortly after we got that book.
Oops, don't mind me.
Maybe some of our problems is because mortals have this book.
Where did we find that book again?
In the Maggie's dungeon.
Okay.
Lulu,
Yeah, it's the one
what
where
you down on?
whenever we open it and start flipping through the pages, the text slowly disappears.
Yeah,
Huh.
vanishing from the back of it.
And the single most powerful spell listed in the book was incomplete and fading away.
When you say, so you think it's because mortals have this books that we've got some of these troubles, but
I didn't say I think, I said it's possible.
right, it's possible. My only thought on that would be, we found it in a dungeon, so, and Maggie hadn't been there for hundreds of years, or at least a long time. So, and she didn't, unless she's the big bad, and this has all been a grand design of hers.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, honestly.
I mean, hats off to her if that is the case, because goddamn, did we fall hook, line, and sinker. But
just
DM's curiously changing his notes.
Just in case anyone is curious, for a Fergus update, I just had to haul Fergus up onto the bed, even though it's only like 3 feet off the ground, because he just had his front legs on top of it and his head on my leg and was looking very pathetic. And I told him several times, "Come on, you can come up," and he just kept looking at me and putting his head down. So I just hauled him up.
Yep.
That's adorable. Pathetic, but adorable.
Very pathetic. He's so capable. You're gonna go back down on the floor if you're gonna bite me, you little shithead.
Yeah, there's been a worrying development. I'll send you a picture, but Fergus has mastered the art of opening drawers.
Oh, he's gotten
is
that
not-
far.
Yeah, it's not good.
I think he caught you with one of those when we were all there, actually, for the game.
Oh yeah, he came
He
down with
definitely
a toy
did.
he shouldn't have.
Yep.
I think
There
that
were a
was
bunch
his
of them
time.
out upstairs.
Well, you're
Yeah,
gonna have to
you
get
can
those
have-
child safety locks.
Yeah.
Hi, Courtney.
Oh, hey.
Hi,
Hello.
Courtney.
Martin!
Hello.
Hey!
Hey, sorry I'm late. Story of my life.
Oh, jeez. No,
no
worries.
Mornings suck. We understand.
Don't you worry. I feel like
Yeah.
some days I'm gonna be late to my own funeral. They'll be dropping that casket and I'll be running up like, wait, okay. Who's got the gun? Okay.
Yeah. If it's any consolation,
Oh,
I have a little D&D partner today.
thank you.
Oh. Look at that little bean.
Yeah.
She's not even a month old yet.
Didn't you-
She's just a month.
Just about that is some thick locks right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all had really thick hair when we were born. My first haircut, I was 3 days old. They took me from the hospital to the salon because my bangs were so long they were down past my nose and I couldn't see.
Oh, wow.
God damn.
Yeah,
That's insane.
yeah,
I mean, I had her like that in high school, but damn.
yeah.
Hey,
We were all born with lots of hair.
That's impressive.
Courtney, can I ask you a dog-related question? You're my
Yeah.
go-to dog person. I just noticed, and Dean, this goes to you too. I don't know if you noticed too. Like, I just noticed that Fergus's, was it his up? What's that claw that goes up? Is it frog claw or something like that?
Oh, the
dig
claw. Yeah.
It's. I just noticed it's chipped, and there's like dirt inside of it. Should I be worried about that?
Kaya's does that sometimes. I find hers almost kind of like get flaky, and it's like layers of the nail will kind of flake off.
Yeah, it's a
Um,
big chunk that's off. That's like trying to get off right now, but it probably nothing to worry about though.
Yeah, I had her into the vet because hers tore right down, and the quick was actually exposed.
Oof.
And
Oh.
they said as long as it's not bothering her, it's not like a big deal. But if it is bothering her, then they can give her some pain meds or wrap it up or do something.
Okay.
But that's the information that I got from the vet.
Okay.
So
I won't worry about it too much just now because I only just noticed it just because he's laying on me right now. But
Did he let you touch it?
yeah,
That should be okay then.
but he's still biting me. But I think he would be biting me regardless because he's a little
I see.
shithead.
Yeah, he's an asshole. So
Yeah, he's a little nibbler.
Me and Dean try to convince Dean's mom that he's an asshole. Dean will say casually on the phone, "Oh yeah, because he's an asshole," and his mom's like, "Oh no, he's not. No, he's not." And me and Dean are just like, "Yeah, he totally is."
Yeah.
No, I can definitely see it. Like he's so sweet, but at the same time, he's a little bit
He's
of
an
an asshole.
asshole for sure.
yeah.
He's chewing on my very expensive inherited Hudson Bay blanket right now. Stop. Fucker. Sorry, then we can carry on. I just wanted to get that out of the way.
No, geez, no worries. My phone went off, so it was perfect timing.
Okay, so I think we were talking about the book, and I theorised that could we really say mortals have had it if it's been locked in, if it was locked in a dungeon for so long, or it's because we've picked it up but we've not used it, unless you've used it and forgot.
I mean, as far as I know, I have not used it.
Opened it up that first day, read through it, flipped to the back, saw it was obliterating itself, closed it, and he's like, I'll put this in the bag of stuff we don't ever touch again.
Yes.
Right
okay.
beside a few other MacGuffins Alan could mention off the top of his head, and real items Alan could mention off the top of his head. But he ain't gonna, because them spoilers.
It's in a lead box in one of the bags of holding currently, but
bags of holding really do just turn into the warehouse from Indiana Jones, don't they?
Yep.
It's just like, yeah, not dealing with that today. Goodbye.
No, I was also wondering where we're in a place that theoretically has 11th level magic. If if the book would still be disappearing at this point, I kind of want to check it, but again, I may be a little worried that we may draw unwanted attention. So before I do that, I kind of want everyone else's thoughts.
And while you're saying that, I'm going to say Lulu is going to lean over and give Isaac a bump on the leg. As she points towards the pool of water in front, she goes, that water actually smells pretty good. I dare you drink it. I want to know if it's good so I can take a drink. So I dare you drink it. And she just smiles.
That seems exceedingly dangerous to attempt.
I'll drink it.
Oh, yeah. Lulu hops around.
Oh, fuck.
Isaac trying to be a voice of reason. Bellamy's like, nah, forget that.
Chaos crew.
Oh wait, you want to create Chaos Crew up there? Okay.
Oh god.
What, Jade passes her a cup?
Alex starts barking out back in the
Hey, you called me directly out, okay? I'm KI, neutral. So you just asked for the Chaos Crew to go up?
Lulu does seem interested in just getting a drink of water, and she feels the water is safe. Half the reason she's poking fun, but she would of course err on a side of caution in the long run. She just wanted to have a little fun at Isaac's expense for a second. The way usually Lulu will pick on one of you at some point randomly. It's her way of having fun.
Lulu, you've kicked the hornet's nest.
Lulu gives a shrug. Well, I mean, there's a lot of water in this room. It's better off to find out if it's going to kill us now or kill us later, right?
That's true. It mirrors much my own thoughts towards Nimbar reading that book. If we're going to do something, let's do it while the exit is within running distance.
Well, keeping in mind that's a
little
lot.
water and take a sip.
So as you scoop it up, I will say the water is friggin' cold. Let's be honest, it's being moved around with large ice blocks in there, so this is incredibly cold water. Like if you've ever gone to the liquor store and they have that dish with the duck in it that's spinning around, so you can put a bottle in there to chill it hyper fast, just like that. That being said, there seems to be no apparent damage. The water is very tasty. And unlike most other things in Hell, and in the 9th or 8th layer, you don't have the urge to keep drinking. It's just a nice, refreshing drink. Reminds you from stopping at a nice spring in the wilderness and taking a drink from that. For anyone listening from home, never do that. Boil your water first. It's just like that time in the woods where you took a drink from a nice, refreshing spring. Very wonderful.
Water's really good, guys.
Lulu looks left, looks right. She goes, oh, wonderful, and flops. All four legs spreading out, and her trunk just drops into the water. She...
I was just gonna say,
Dramatically
Flexel.
run over. Oh no, Lulu!
And sorry, Jillian, what were you going to have Flux do?
I was just gonna drink the water too.
Bellamy running over to Lulu, who's just so happy to be on the ground relaxing, and she's drinking and she's blowing bubbles in the water too. She's Bellamy coming. She just spreads one of her massive wings out, which is nice and warm and fluffy. You know how it goes. But she doesn't get up. She just stays flopped drinking and looks happy. She goes, "Oh my god, I don't like walking."
Oh, Flux will absolutely carry her if she wants to be carried.
Flux is big enough. Even though Lulu is a sizable creature, she could probably just flop on Flux's head. Just be carried along like one of the familiars for once. Flux is familiar. That works. She summons a Lulu, turns into a mammoth. Makes sense.
Yeah, the scale's probably right.
Oh, my word. But yeah, Lulu will be... To make my life easier as well, Lulu will be tagging along with Flux. I do believe, though, the Mount Up add-on and the Follow Me add-on were not working. So.
I checked again with my imp, and it seems to still be having a little bit of a blip.
I'll take a look into it for next week. I'll be honest, I kind of forgot for this week.
I mean, it's easy enough just to select both tokens and they'll move as one, so it's not a big deal.
Oh, and Dan, you having any problems there? I just noticed you logged out.
I logged out of what?
Foundry.
No, I'm up there.
Can you see me moving Flux?
I'll refresh the page.
Okie dokie.
So while they're drinking, Nimbar's gonna kind of come over here, pull out the lid container, open it up, and check the back of the book, see if it's still disappearing even here.
When you open up and look in the back of the book, give me a dex save.
Ooh.
Oh.
And I'm just looking here. I believe it's Bellamy.
Oh.
Yep. Alright. As you open the book, a surge of magic explodes outward from it, giving you 8 points of force damage. The book reacting violently and still exuding magic, like a fountain spraying water. It seems to have lost control over itself. You can see words, letters, everything lifting from the page, tearing through the air.
Can I get it closed and back in the box?
With an athletics check.
Can Flux help him at this point, or is he? Am I kind of distracted at this?
You were having a nice drink of water when Nimbar's yelling, "Oh crap, I can't close the book!" And you can see he's basically holding, well, a big gigantic surging blast of magical energy.
Yeah, I'll go help him if I can, if you'll allow me.
Oh yes, certainly. And as you rush over to do that, because that's going to be an athletics check, Nimbar, despite his panic, doesn't seem to be any worse for wear. No further damage as you're holding the book. You're trying to squeeze it shut, but it's the opposite of trying to open up a jar of pickles. You with a tube, there's no way.
You know.
Could Alec run over as well to help try and close it? Because I think
If you have training in
Isaac
athletics,
I do.
you can provide aid to Flux. And I'm saying that because I think Jillian probably has the highest athletics check on the team.
I think I need a extremely rare magical potion to come close to Flux.
Yep, it's true. But you can give aid and you can give her advantage on the roll to make life easier as you both rush over.
Basically, our spotter.
As this wild surge of magic goes, and you feel free to make your roll on that one, Jillian.
Okay.
Bellamy. The flashing lights from that fill this room upward like a disco party. It almost looks like the Aurora Borealis above your head. However, that's probably not what's catching your vision. I'm sure you've noticed it, because you can see the reflections on the water of the light. But you also see reflected on the water as your eyes drift up as you take a nice drink of that water, that smooth, cool water that Lulu's blowing bubbles in near you, which is cute to see. You know, she's like her chocolate milk. The reflection you see is of children, young adolescences, laughing and running in robes, in wizardly attire, as they move through the hallway you find yourself in. But when you look up from the water, as you hear a thunderous slamming from behind, as Flux, her arms like timber, Literally, it looks like two gigantic trees for a half second as it takes her incredible strength, with a roll of 27 total, to slam that book shut. And Jillian, for Flux's sake, you feel she just pulled that one off. But once closed, the virulent display of magic comes to an abrupt halt. You don't even have to hold the book shut.
This is so unrelated, and just another Fergus update. He's been whining to get out of the room because I had the door closed because Dean turned the heat on. So I had Fergus in here, but he was being a little shit. Like, he was laying on the bed, but he kept, like, you know, pawing at my feet or pawing at my hands. So I got him to sit down and do a couple of things. And when he was listening, I let him go out to the main room. And he's sitting there. He's sniffing the carpet now. But before that, he just poked the door open just enough for me to see one eye and one ear. And he was just peering at me through the door.
Oh, he's stalking you.
But not coming in.
Oh,
Absolute shithead. Absolute shithead.
a good puppy. Bad puppy, but good puppy.
Do I recognize the hallway or the robes or anything?
Nothing specific, no. They seem like, you know, your average pile of magical students at a school. The age range is mostly younger, though. This children here would range maybe from age 12 to age 21 at best. And the ones who are older are considerably more rare. They seem to have a guiding hand. However, that vision, that flash that you see, only lasts as long as the magic permeated through the air. Once that book was shut, so with it went the reflection.
I'm sorry about that, guys. I did not expect that.
Nimbar,
Well,
what you are rewarded with. The hall, the floor, the walls, all of it is burned with magical symbols, words, styles, designs. None of it makes any sense. The easiest way to explain it would be like almost as though someone spilled their ink on the floor, and instead of it just being ink, it's all the words you'd use for all the spells. Looking around, by the fifth moon of Tamarin over the secondary sun's line of that, and you're like, wow, if I read that out loud, I'm gonna turn into a toad. Or worse. It makes absolutely no sense, the words spilled from the book, having burned the surrounding areas.
Did the rest of you guys see that?
see what?
Lulu gives a nod. Oh, I did, Bellamy. It was so pretty, all those lights.
Yeah, the lights were cool, but you guys didn't see like the hallway and the kids in the robes. That kind of no.
What hallway had kids in it?
We didn't, right?
The reflection of the one you're presently standing in. The remnants of it. They were running around everywhere in the reflection, but not outside of it. And only Bellamy saw that. She was the one taking a drink at that moment in time when the lights flashed off.
I think it was here. Maybe not covered in ice. It was a school, maybe?
A school full of magic kids?
Like in the ice, he said?
Yeah, like
any
in
of
the
the-
reflections.
Did any of the kids have a lightning-shaped scar?
You said it so seriously.
You know, I think maybe one of them might have. I think he was with a ginger kid.
Oh, my father's told me tales of such a child.
Yeah, I think they were getting up to trouble or something.
Always.
Stuff they really shouldn't have been.
It's always those three.
DM
Yeah.
leans in and politely requests not to get sued.
Hey, so far we've just described children that could be any children at any place. As long as we don't say a name, we're fine. We could just say like, the cop out and call him like Barry Trotter. Okay. Well, least we know that we probably shouldn't open that book again in
Yes.
here.
Yes, we
Yeah.
very much know that.
You look like you've just been punched in the face by the book.
It kind of felt that way.
Okay, right. So, well, at least that's a little bit of information, though. It's definitely reactive to this place. So, maybe we shouldn't give it out to anyone if we meet an entity here.
Agreed. I don't think we want to give it to anyone.
I know for destroying magical rings, you need to go to the mountain in which they were made, but how do you destroy a magical book? Go to the library in which they were penned?
Oh.
Lulu gives a shrug. Well, I'll just open it and biff it in the water. That'll get rid of it pretty quick. Books don't like water.
That's true.
Lulu's also going to look over at Bellamy since, the two of you by the water at the time. She's going to shake her head. Really, though, I don't understand any of this magical bullshit. It's why I like to kick things and punch things and hit them with my tusks. That generally works well for me.
It's fair.
Kind of jealous in a way. But I mean, that's what polymorph is for.
Who's like
Okay.
looking over like, you turned into a gold dragon. I'm jealous. I can turn into a giant elephant. A golden elephant, but still.
Oh,
I wonder.
You're like, I'm a
The
polymorph Lulu. Boom. And yes, you can.
yes, that I could. No, sorry. The children you said were happening when the lights were going off. Like you could see them in the reflection.
As if they were
If
in the
we-
room running around, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm going to cast another spell. I don't know if you guys want to be near me when I do that, but I want to see if it happens when any spell is cast.
Okay.
oh, interesting.
Lulu grumbles as she slowly slides back up to her feet and takes her trunk out of the water like, oh, let's have a good drink. And she walks her way backwards with the rest of the party.
All right. We're just going to do something simple, and we're just going to cast a little minor illusion, and just have it looking like a floating orb right about there.
Looks nice. Floating along.
And if I look in the water, anything else happening?
No, it's shiny and pretty, but you don't see any crazy reflective stuff.
Do
Okay.
I?
Bellamy peeking from behind the couch. Nope, don't see nothing.
I don't see anything.
Neither do I.
Maybe the cantrip isn't strong enough to draw out the magic.
Kind of what I'm assuming, but I don't really want to try too much more.
I could try a first level spell. I can cast it. It won't look like
Actually,
the spell from the book was a 10th or 11th level spell disappearing that caused that illusion.
It was kind of the pages books,
Yeah.
the book's pages flapping like crazy and the whole book starting to tear itself apart.
no.
Throwing words at random out from all of its spells as a virulent display of crazy magic filled the area. You would imagine, though, you probably lost some words out them higher level spells, totally. But I will clarify for that one, Dan, good catch on that it isn't any specific one spell that came out. It just started shedding itself.
if we want to just try a first level spell, I can do that as well. Mind you, let me actually just do a second level spell. Bellamy, watch the water for me, because this one's going to be a
Okay.
quick one. I'm just going to Misty Step, because I can cast it for free, just to the other side. Saying everything works out the way I want it to.
As you misty step across the top of the water, anyone who has Arcana as a trained skill, feel free to make a check on a roll for that one.
Including myself, or...
Oh, definitely, yeah. You've got it trained.
Okay.
And you fall into the category of anyone. But you've also got Isaac sitting there who's watching these things happen like, okay, crazy magic, and now he's teleporting. See what I mean? You rolled a flipping 19 there, Kieran.
Trained.
And half training counts. You've got that Bellamy magic, so you never know. Wow. It is not Nimbar's day. Oh, that was the copy Nimbar.
Copy Nimbar.
As you make your step across, you sense something was off, something weird about the way the magic responded, but you can't really place it. Isaac, however, scoring it with a 36. Kieran, what your character notices? As he starts to step and as he starts to move, the very air in this room seems to respond, crackle, and attempt to grab onto his magic. But his magic isn't strong enough to trigger it, as he rockets across the water. You've seen this sort of effect before, where magic has been pulled into void from an area. An influx of a high-level spell, or at least a spell of certain caliber, will be able to unlock whatever strange magical effect is trying to drain the magic in an area. So, you could always do an Arcana check on an area to try to figure out how big of an effect it's going to be and what spell level you'd have to sacrifice in order to freely activate it.
Okay. Interesting. So it's just not high enough level. Can I roll another check to try and determine what level this area would require?
Definitely. Quick Arcana check, and you'd be able to try to figure out how much power it's going to take. Because you now know the virulent magic that distributed from that book, the room simply grabbed onto it. And with a 28, you can confirm that with a 4th level spell slot, or better, you could activate the magic in this room and see what's going on.
I'll point that out. I was like, we need at least a 4th level spell for this. Otherwise, it's not going to be enough to trigger it. Although I would be careful.
You're also familiar with this process, given how high you rolled on that check as well. And it's the sort of thing, as you start to cast a 4th level spell, you'll feel the magic reaching out, and you can call out to it with your 4th level spell. Basically connect the two and burn one away. So any spellcaster can freely do it. The hard part's discovering the minimum spell level. I mean, you can blow a 9th level and it will just automatically work, obviously, but I mean...
That's yeah.
Do we want to...
Give it a shot?
Well, the question I have is it one of those things, do we think that it lasts for the casting time? Like, I don't know, say it lasts 6 seconds, that's how long it normally takes to cast a spell. But what if we were casting something that lasted longer, or if we were concentrating on magic, maintaining a magical effect?
Any of the actual spell effects, I'll save you on this one, Kieran, because that's one of those questions. It's like, DM mechanics, hold on. Any actual spell effects, spell features, or etc. will be irrelevant. The second you go to cast a spell, it would latch on, and instead of casting the spell, you instead use your action, burn the spell slot, and trigger the effect in the room. What the outcome of the effect is? Well, as mentioned, wild magic.
Okay.
So, no, it consumes the spell.
I mean...
Interesting.
It's like giving a car a boost. Once it's going, it'll be fine. But getting there, that's the ticket.
I'm just gonna misty step back.
Well, shall we? So, do we want to try then? See what will happen?
Lulu's gonna be like, wait, well, hold on, gotta do something real important before you do any of that stuff. Okay, hang on. Pops her nose into the water. Takes a big drink, swells up her cheeks and everything, starts waddling away like, okay, it's good now, you go ahead.
But yeah, copy number can easily do that.
I was thinking that getting one of the simulacrums to try it might be a
Yeah.
good idea.
I mean, like, again, like, that's if people want to find out what it does.
Copy
I mean,
Nimbar.
I know I do, but
As Copy Nimbar walks forward, he is going to give Alec a slight ribbing with one elbow, and he's like, I was kind of curious to find out if I could drink better than myself, you know, like yours could. Heh. But we might not get the option now.
I'm going to watch you die.
He points finger guns at you like, you get it.
Yeah.
He's so old and it's so liberating. He's like, it's great. I don't have to worry about death. It's always over my shoulder, but technically as of right now, it's inevitable. This is great. It's freeing. It's so wonderful. And it's, I don't want to die. Charging the 4th level slot. Don't let me. I'm just having my usual fun.
Yeah. Does anyone else want to further back away?
Yeah, let's back up a bit.
What about Bellamy? She's chilling back behind the couch. Jillian.
Is Bellamy, like, peeking behind the couch? Like, just eye level with the couch?
That's what I'm imagining.
Same.
Jillian. What about Flux? Is she getting back or is she standing ground?
So, what happened?
They're going to trigger
We're
some
going to-
magical magical effect.
Yeah,
Right.
we have no idea what it's gonna do. But
I'll stand my ground.
all right.
Someone just give Flux a pair of sunglasses as she crosses her arm. She goes, yeah, okay, do the magic. Looking badass. CSI style.
Let's just waste a polymorph.
Alrighty. As Nimbar begins casting and chanting the spell, you can see the room itself glowing somewhat, lighting emitting through it. And as Nimbar goes to cast the spell, he gets the option. He can let all that magic drain out into the room as it's pulling, or you can cast polymorph.
I'll let it drain.
As you do, you burn a 4th level spell slot. You feel like a paladin for a brief moment, but you're not smiting. No. The room shines and shimmers and glows, before suddenly you see a spirit burst through Nimbar's body. The laughing child's blue translucent form, however, doesn't seem to have any effect on Nimbar as it runs through the hallway. A number of them, in fact, dozens of kids running, laughing, ranging in age, as mentioned, from about 13 to 20. The older ones helping the younger ones go and move, and you can see standing by the fountain, an older-looking lady, maybe in her mid-30s, mid-40s, hard to exactly tell, humanoid, tapping on a clipboard, ordering them to move along and keep up and keep going, and etc. Courtney, you go ahead.
Yeah.
And give me. I'm looking at your lists of checks right now because I have to make sure to, because there's like 2 that can be used. So yeah, you can use either your insight or your medicine check at this point.
I'm gonna do insight.
As this unfolds, and these figments and specters move about, like shadows, the first thing you notice, as your eyes gleam the room, is the oddest thing. Some of the children, as they make it towards you, disappear as they round through the corners. And it becomes very obvious to you. And I'm just going to put a magical effect out on the map. What you're seeing here because those children, as they run past, you notice that it's come a certain point, their facial features fade away. The bodies seem to lack a lot of the detail here and there where they should, except very near the center of this area. And I heard the cute sounds. Oh. Your insight immediately lets you see that what you are seeing is a singular moment in time, repeating itself from the field of view of a spirit trapped here. Right there. The lady with the clipboard.
Oh. Hey guys?
Oh, I hit my knee. Ow.
Well,
Sorry.
that was a bad plan.
So I think that there's like a teacher or something. Body, maybe right there by that skeleton. There's like an aura, a wave, a thing around it, magic stuff.
You're all more than welcome for an Arcana check, once again, to try to figure out what the hell.
Okay, let's give that a shot. Get a third out copy as well.
Apparently, my true skill is shining through.
Yeah, see all those rolls everyone's doing nice and high. You're able to determine, with all those Arcana checks blasting through the roof.
So,
Dean, you're on mute,
hang on.
bud. Yeah.
I realised that. So I'll use my reaction to use my wheel feature on Isaac, so you can add a d6 to that 28. Just let's see if we can crack a 30.
Copy Isaac got a 32.
Oh, look at me rolling backs
Oh,
on my Arcana.
Copy Isaac got a 32. All right, I missed that. Well, you can add d6 to it anyway.
Oh.
34.
What that is, and even Flux leaning in like, oh my word, that's a spirit trapped here. Trapped within the magics? To which Isaac would respond, yes, trapped within the magics of time and space, ripped free with the same magic that trapped and damned this place. That poor spirit was torn along and brought with it.
That's quite unpleasant. That seems to be the case.
Do we know how we can free the spirit?
Well, that's possible. Do you have any magic that has that sort of power? Outside of that, you could attempt
I'm
to...
gonna look at the cleric here for that one.
Cleric. Oh yeah, that's right.
That's why Bellamy got that initial check, to see what the hell.
I have raised dead.
I mean, probably a little late for that one. Raised Dead has a time limit, doesn't it?
Depends on the... Does it?
Well,
Oh, it's
yeah,
true
Raised Dead-
resurrection that doesn't...
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, 10 days.
Yeah, there are different grades of raise, and more powerful raise spells have longer time limits. They also have lesser requirements for body parts. Because I think Raised Dead requires like an intact body, doesn't it? Like largely intact body to perform a raise. Maybe they removed that with 5e, but it's still the case. It says it needs...
All it says is that you return a dead creature you touch to life, provided that it has been
here
dead
it
no
is.
longer than 10 days.
Yeah, this spell closes all mortal wounds, but it doesn't restore missing body parts. If the creature is lacking body parts or organs integral for its survival, its head for instance, the spell automatically fails. So, with a corpse, like, if a corpse is rotted away to the point of bones, Raised Dead won't help it, because it won't have any of its organs, right? So it can't bring it back to life. That kind of thing.
Does a pile of bones count as a corpse?
Probably not for the purpose of Raised Dead. Maybe for the purpose of True Resurrection. I don't even know if you need.
No, it's just that I have a cauldron of rebirth. It just says You need a corpse, you cover it in salt for 8 hours, and then it's consumed by the creature and returns to life as if by raised dead, but I don't know if that means raised dead effects, but it doesn't say that it needs to meet the requirements.
Jade, as the one with the highest passive perception as this is happening, you notice something. As time does in fact have a loop, there's a brief moment where you see her as she turns, accessing a hidden lockbox in the stone statue of the Pegasus, stashing away something, then returning to her duties, just for a brief instant.
Well, then Jade's going to crack a safe.
And spellcasters, I will say, that spirit is bound here due to the magical capacity of whatever spell sent it here in the first place. Held here, in fact, by magic. You might be able to free the soul through your old standard religious means of trying to help it move on, if that's possible. But outside of that, it's trapped here by magic.
Huh.
It's a bit of a tall order to just...
What? Talk to it? We could do that.
But yeah. Just saying to free it might end up being a little more complicated than simply casting a spell and being done with it.
Well, if we just need to get it to move on. That's what Alan said, right?
He said it's possible.
Possible.
He did not guarantee success. He said theoretically it's possible.
It's how you know to get a soul to move on. But this one isn't lingering by choice. It's trapped here by magic.
By powerful magic, so...
If only there was a spell that could dispel magic.
The question...
Sassy Alan today.
So the question is, though, is given the grade of the magic that trapped it here, right? Like...
That's the question. How high of a DC is the dispel magic check on the magic that holds them?
Let me read the spell magic.
It would be 10
It has
plus spell
been a
level,
while.
but that's assuming that the logic holds true for above 9th level magic, right? Like,
Ability check if you're...
those are the rules for normal magic. We don't necessarily know that it'll stay true for high.
So when it's
hyper...
says the spell casting ability, is that like your modifier? Like, would that be like that doesn't include proficiency bonus?
Oh yeah. Your spellcasting ability is your main score and your proficiency bonus and any other miscellaneous bonuses added together. The same thing you'd use for making a spell attack roll, or pretty much your arcana check too, almost. Pretty much, if it's trained. Like, you know what I'm getting at. But yeah, you do get...
Not mine.
Yeah, no, you're
Okay.
a little special there with those, look at me, I can do a whole bunch of timey-wimey bullshit.
Well,
We got you.
actually, mine doesn't even come from that. I just have expertise because I have the, what's it called?
Oh, right.
Feat. Prodigy feat.
That's such a nice little one for the speed it gives.
So if it's like a are you sure it's like a spell attack? Because my spell attack is plus 18, which seems
Like it, but it's not quite the same.
alright, so if it's... So I would have plus 7, plus 6 for 13 then? As my modifier?
Yeah, your spellcasting ability used is Wisdom, so your spell save is your DC, is your 8 plus your proficiency bonus. 1 second here.
Yeah. Spell attack will include stuff like equipment and so forth that
Right, yeah.
spell attack, right? So you wouldn't want to... So it would be like modifier plus proficiency, right?
I'm literally just double checking to make sure I didn't mess it up, because once you've heard it a few times, it messes you up. Ugh. Yeah, you get your proficiency bonus and your wisdom modifier for your spell, your spell proficiency for using something like dispel magic. And if Dispel Magic follows, as Kieran said for it, it's going to be 10 plus the spell's level as the DC, unless you cast Dispel Magic at the same level of the spell you're dispelling.
It doesn't sound like we can cast it at the same.
No.
But
Magics are capable of casting spells of that sort. Beyond the realm of mortals.
so we just need to dispel magic to try and free this poor lady.
In theory.
In theory.
Yeah, like I said, the only question mark is does the DC follow the same logic as like conventional spells do? Given that it's essentially it's a type of magic that doesn't even like exist within like the modern spell casting world, right?
Oh, don't even worry, Kieran. I lifted it straight from 3.5, so you know the DC is 45.
God.
God.
Because I was just saying, like, it does, you know what I mean? It doesn't necessarily have to follow the rules of conventional magic, right? So that's kind of a DM's discretion type thing.
Okay. So, what do I roll, Alan? Because I just cast the spell.
In order for your Dispel Magic as cast at 3rd level, you're going to need to give me your check for a roll. So you give me a roll, which is going to be with your proficiency and your wisdom mods on top of there.
Okay, so...
Is this something he could guide himself on, or...?
and I will use my wheel feature to add it. I think I can add it to... Let me just check. When I make an attack roll, saving throw, or an ability check, I can use my wheel, so I can... Okay,
you make
I'll do that.
You do make an ability check using your spell casting ability, so that works.
Oh.
21. So as Alec cracks his knuckles, tilts his head to the side, starts and readies magic, runes appearing beneath his feet, magical circles encircling both of his hands, raw energy primed, and as he focuses to such a degree that this time Nimbar has to put the glasses on with a smile like, oh yeah, look at that. And he unleashes a raw blast capable of dispelling practically any spell he's ever seen. And it completely obliterates the magic binding this poor soul. In a single wave of energy, you see their release. Their body turns to almost fireflies as it drifts into the snowy air, disappearing. And with it go as well the faded memories of the children running through the hall.
Well, good to know that works, and good to free a trapped soul like that, so that's... Oh, that went well. That went surprisingly well.
Well, it only went well because it worked. We don't know what happened.
Actual fireflies?
They looked like them for a moment, the way the body burst apart and faded, but they were gone in moments. The soul freed from whatever torment held it here.
You think we just freed a really bad soul? Like, why was she here?
Flux will just kind of put her hand on Bellamy's shoulder and be like, no, I don't think so.
It's,
Okay.
Lulu gives... It is going to give Lulu to give a laugh, and she's going to look at Bellamy and be like, oh, don't worry, Bellamy. If there were actually a bad person, it would have been a much more torturous sort of situation that we would put them in. And she brings up one of her legs and the other and smacks them together like throwing a punch. We got to make sure to punish them for doing the wrong thing. That poor thing here, well, I saw the spirit as it faded away. That lady was nothing but kind. I saw nothing but a beautiful glow in that soul. You all did a really good thing here. And Lulu even lifts her trunk up. She wipes a tear away. I'm kind of touched. You free a soul from hell that didn't deserve it.
And given the scale of the disaster that seemingly happened to this place being transported here, chances are any souls trapped here, good or bad, weren't trapped here on purpose, but were rather trapped here simply as, you know what I mean, a consequence of the entire situation.
Collateral damage.
Yeah.
Lulu's
So I
gonna
feel
look
like-
sideways
I feel
at
like,
Isaac.
yeah.
And she's gonna be like, "Oh yeah, accident. That's what wizards say when you f up."
Well, it's I think calamity is probably a better way of describing it when something like this happens, but it's certainly I would say that good or bad chances of anyone being so truly awful that they deserve to be trapped like this are they're slim.
Sorry, guys. I just have to go to the bathroom. Sorry, Kieran. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Oh, no worries.
So I would say, and anyone who is trapped here, I would say they've probably suffered enough at this point, anyways.
Lulu mulls it over a little bit as she seems to think and gives a nod. She goes, "Well, maybe. I can think of a person or two that I met in Avernus who I think would suit right well here. It'd be a good way to frig them right the frig up. And they friggin' deserve it." And she stomps one of her feet. "But no, I think you're right. I think it might be a little cruel."
It's
"Also, pardon my language," Lulu says. "I didn't mean to get quite so rough."
given the situation, I'd rather risk the chance of being wrong about it and, you know, maybe free some jerk than to leave the souls of the innocent just tormented, trapped here.
Lulu would acknowledge as well that, well, since you've got a flux, if you do free a jerk, she'll beat the crap out of them. But Jillian stepped out for a quick second, so, you know, that would get a noogie on top of Flux, or on top of Lulu's head, and it'd be an adorable moment, because that's what Lulu does. But she will acknowledge that, yeah, she prefers your route. She'd rather see a soul saved, especially where, so far, she hasn't seen any bad ones. Lulu's got that eye for it, after all.
Yeah, I mean, we made a career out of redeeming souls for a few months there. We helped the vampire dude in the tree. We helped Zario, Krekindle. I mean, well, he was good, but I mean, we saved him.
Yeah.
Lulu pipes up. And don't forget all of her generals, like every single flippin' one. You meet one and you're like, we gotta make your life better. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. So, yeah, I guess good things can happen. Alright. I just, you know, the easiest way to test the theory was just to test it. And so we can affect some change here, that's good. What is Jade found? Has he found the compartment?
Oh, he's been waiting. Oh, and I'll say for you magic users as well, because I'm sure someone prestidigitated, magic is still surging despite your changes here. And for Jade, you can easily find that lockbox area if you're going over to it, but the years have not been kind and it's quite frozen shut. It's raw athletics to get that thing out.
I would like to help. I can't, but I would like to help.
Like dragging a crowbar over. I got this.
I think that's all you need for advantage in opening something, but that's doors and stuff.
That's why I mentioned.
One of the favourite things I ever did with my other characters is bought a bag of holding and filled it with just random adventuring crap. When they get through a door, got a battering ram.
I don't think the system's being nice to you today, Dan.
No, this is like the 6th time I've ever had to refresh the page.
So when we go to lunch, I'm going to close and relaunch the server itself. Hopefully that'll help. Because I've seen you blink a few times in the middle of things, and I'm like, oh, that's a headache. I feel bad for him.
You said straight athletics?
Yeah, to tear it free. Because it's at this point, it's just old, damaged, and worn. Athletics to tear it out. Ha!
Whew.
Crunch.
Again, Jade just cracks his knuckles, wraps them around it casually, maybe a little perturbed because he was hoping to use his dexterous nature. But he doesn't even flex or strain. He slides it out, and you hear it grinding like a cash box. Not even a twitch, not even a flinch, just perfectly done as if it was moving freely. Anybody else moving it would find it quite seized. And what Jade sees inside are three things. The first being an old notepad, and the one that she would have been writing on at the time. Unfortunately, it's so worn and old that it would disintegrate to your touch, as well as a leather-bound notebook with it. Though the leather-bound notebook itself seems to have survived the test of the years. And most interestingly, you find a key of rings. Ring of keys. Oh my god, I said it right the first time and corrected myself. Oh, gonna need that break soon.
We've all been there.
Yeah, rings.
I mean, I've even had brekkie, I have my coffee, I have a yogurt too to help, and the brain is still like, a ring key.
Now I want a magical item called a, what is it? Like a ring of keys? Where it's a ring that just, like, it stores keys. So you can wear it on your hand and have all of your keys all in one spot.
I have that. It's called Jade.
I was about to say, Dan, give us a sleight of hand check. You're like, here's the key we need. No, boop, boop, and here's the other key. How did you do that? Big smile. At the end of this, he's going to find good money as being the first magician. Not wizard, magician. Nimbar's like sitting in the audience. Jade pulls a hat, grabs Nimbar, pulls him out of the hat. Nimbar's like, where the hell did I come from?
Well, you remember that one time where I put that arcane mark on you? Oh, right.
Oh,
You were asleep.
Imagine being like a street magician in like Waterdeep, and you're like, and now I'll make this disappear, and just see a wizard go like, but like, so what? We all could do that. You know what I mean? Like, not much of a career choice to be like, I have a deck of cards.
Oh, you'd have to preface it. Wizards, cast detect magic before you come in. You'll never figure out how I did it.
There's the trick, yeah.
Yep, all sleight of hand. I'm actually thinking, that'd be a good one for While Beyond Witchlight. That'd be a good thing to include. But I'm going off
sounds
topic.
Like a rogue character in the making right here.
Oh god, yeah. I just have to find an anime character who he fits and name them after that. Just gotta find a magician in anime who was awesome and not lame, because usually they just make it lame. And it's like, oh come on, that's really cool stuff to be able to do sleight of hand, but I digress. So, then, Jade has now discovered a key ring full of keys. Old school style, iron style keys, you know, the sort of things for locking and unlocking standard doors. Nothing too crazy on there. And a skeleton key. It literally has a skull for the top head out of the handle, though not designed in a macabre fashion, designed to signify that it is, in fact, a skeleton key. Old school. People don't do it like that no more.
Ba-da-da-da-doo. I know it was a horrible reference, but there's my Zelda reference for the
No,
Master Chief.
I was thinking the exact same thing.
Yeah.
I was going to say something like, I knew a kid with a green tunic constantly used to find those things. Lots of trouble behind those doors.
No. These will be nothing. The doors you have to worry about are the ones with the big M.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Really funny is if you'd made the next floor and found one of those doors, it would have had the letter N on it. The next floor would have been the letter O.
Oh god. I'll be over in this corner crying.
You know, just implying it went up in letters to increase the difficulty because that was going to be cool. But since that never happened, they all say M on them now because, well, that's just cooler. You know how it works. It was all a good time.
I figured it was M for Mad Mage Dungeon.
That was what I was going with, to sort of throw all the shade down so that when you got to the next floor and you saw the letter N on a door and it was a harder fight, you'd be like, if it's O next floor, we know we got trouble. But there's only 20-some floors. Eventually you would have gotten to the Greek alphabet and then it would have got trippy.
We can't even say that later.
Yep.
What is going on?
Alpha, beta, Chronos, delta, epsilon, gamma, omega. There we go.
That's it. That's all of them.
I said them. You heard me. Oh, my word. Oh, pardon me. So anything for Jade while he's got those, well, the clipboard's ruined, but if you want, like, the clippy-clacky off the top of the clipboard, that was made of metal. It's still good.
Oh no, I very carefully put it. Well, the leather-bound book. You said that was okay.
Yep, that is able to be picked up and held, but the moment you so much as touch the edge of that other clipboard, it's already crumbling. It's pretty much a pile of dust held together. You're surprised it survived the drawer opening.
Yeah, the question becomes, how can I mending that?
You could just cast mending on it. It's
I was
a
gonna say.
standard mundane item.
Yeah, but it's a 10-minute cast.
Mending? No, it's not.
Or no, 1 minute. Sorry, isn't?
I think it's a pretty quick cast for mending. I gotta check now.
Mending is a minute.
Yeah, you could use mending on the clipboard.
We'll wait a minute to let you mend your clipboard.
Oh, no, I'm not worried about that. I'm more curious about the note that's going to turn to dust. Because the second I touch it, it turns to dust, but to cast a spell, I need to touch it. So Jade now has a problem to deal with.
Right.
Will it destroy it even though when you touch it, it fixes it? Or is...
Jade doesn't know. He only recently got the spell. He just does stuff.
Well, I mean, there's really
Doesn't mean he understands it.
Well, there's really only one way to find out, isn't there?
Commune with dead and talk to the dead. Oh, right. You guys sent her away already.
Might as well try.
Sure did. Sure did.
No, yeah, I'll put it all away and continue on.
Did you try the mending or?
No.
Okay, right. Short of casting Greater Restoration and that statue to see if it was really alive, I'm not too sure what else we can uncover in this room. Should we move on?
I'm fine with moving on, but
Yeah.
it's up to the spellcasters because you guys are the ones that are going to get more,
Well, I'll tell
have
you
more
what,
options here.
Sandy's about to step out for a couple hours chilling with her friends. She's leaving at 12. So how about we take our break now and we come back in 15 minutes?
Yeah.
Sure,
good to
yeah,
me.
that sounds good.
Alright.
All right. I'll pop the game on pause and I'm gonna mute the music. And when I come back, I'll relaunch the game for Dan. That way we can try it that time. I do it now, but it's best to do it then so we make sure it's working. You know, the usual blah, blah, blahs.
Yeah, well, I'm going to restart my computer just in case it's that.
Oh, perfect.
We'll
Alrighty.
restart everything.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed. All right, I'll see y'all in 15.
See you in a bit.
Bye.
Mine.
Chili
I'm back.
Hi, back. I'm Daniel. Nice to meet you.
Hi, Daniel. How are you today?
All right.
That's good. Yeah, by the way, has it been like you don't have time for StarCraft, or do you just not want to play? Because like I haven't been messaging you because I feel like you may have gotten tired of it.
Little bit of a column A, little bit of column B.
Fair enough. That's kind of what I figured.
The big thing is I've been really tired from work.
Understandable.
Yesterday was 13-hour shift,
Ooh.
and I had to listen to the last 4 hours of the kid that works with me. And I call him a kid. He's 26, but he's still a fucking kid. Go on and on and on and on and on about how he wants to move a truck because it's inconvenient for the person on Monday when we have Monday off. I can go into further details later, but
Fair. No, the kid. It's not Tristan, is it? Because I thought I heard he was helping you the other day.
no, it's not Tristan.
Okay, I didn't think so. It didn't sound like Tristan.
Oh, by the way, did Tristan kick your ass at the last Magic the Gathering game?
We didn't play.
I'm gonna have to yell at him then.
Eh,
I mean, he probably could have because I was not running good that weekend.
And we'll just give it a few for everyone to show back up.
eh.
So I think most everyone's probably back now.
Courtney is still muted. I haven't heard Alex or Dean
Dean and
or
Jillian.
Jillian. Yeah.
Oh, there's
I'm
Courtney.
back.
Yo. And I think I heard Dan.
Oh yeah.
Perfect. So we're just waiting on Dean and Jillian.
I think I was the first one back.
Oh, probably. You and John usually are. I usually show up right exactly at the time. I'm like, okay, I'll see you at 12 o'clock. I'm back.
I was a little. I was only here like a couple minutes before 12.
No, that's fair.
I was cooking food.
That mid-game break makes a big difference. Gotta get food, gotta get coffee, gotta get drinks, gotta get tea.
Yeah, coffee and food, and restart computer.
And I'm going to quickly restart this server, which means everybody will need to F5, but just give that a minute. I'll let y'all know when, once it's up and running fully. Peter?
Oh, man. So, you know what's fun?
D&D?
Beer.
Yes, D&D, but besides D&D,
Beer?
the what is it? Pathfinder actually has 4 versions of the spell Wish. Because they made one for each type of magic, right? Like there's Wish, Miracle, alter reality, and I can't remember what the primal one's called. Because it works slightly differently in that game, where you can cast. It's a 10th level spell, which there's a whole rule set around casting 10th level spells in that game. But you can duplicate any spell of 9th level or lower of the same tradition. So, like, if you're casting Wish, it's a 9th level or lower of Arcane, or a 7th level or lower of not that tradition. So, like, if you use Wish, you can cast 9th level or lower Arcane spells, or 7th level or lower non-Arcane spell, right, with it. So there's a version of it for each one because of that. Like, Miracle, it's divine spells that it does that, for example. So I thought that was cool that they gave the other, like, clerics have their own version, for example, of Wish, right? And similarly, druids have their own version of Wish, and bards have their own version of Wish, because bards are one of the 4 full casters in the core game, which is neat. Well, sorry, one of the 4 dedicated full casters, because sorcerers are everything. Sorcerers can be literally any of the types. So.
Server's up and running again if anybody wants to dive back in.
Alright. I just thought it was neat to have like a cleric version of Wish. And like a druid version of Wish, because that feels like something that like wizards get this really awesome spell, wizards and sorcerers, and then
Well, wizards are the favorite child of D&D. Unashamedly so.
Wizards of the Coast, we don't have any favorite child.
No, yeah.
Wizard, what's that, wizard? You're feeling a little sad? How about 20 new magic items for you?
Yeah.
Does that make you feel better?
When you feeling sad, wizards? What? You know what? We're going to release an adventure all about a magic school. Can other classes play? Well, I guess.
Yeah.
The ranger in the corner. Can I? No! Get back in your corner! Don't you dare come out! What is wrong with you?
6 of damage? No.
It really is. It really is a thing, but yeah.
We're trying to make rangers better, but we don't want them playable.
Yeah, we want them better, but we don't want them getting close to wizard. That would be bad. So let's try and keep everything really restrained. I literally use that as my balance metric for homebrew for classes. Does it make this better than a wizard? If no, then it's probably okay. Which, I mean, it's a pretty large room to work in, so.
You did say the server was back up, right?
Yep. Yeah, I saw you blinking in and out. You having some trouble getting on there?
Yeah, it's not loading. Let's just.
Do we need to refresh it if you've logged out, Alan?
Yeah, I
click
think you
F5
do.
just to make your life easier. I relogged it so Dan should be able to get on. I'm not uploading or downloading nothing.
Dan can get on. No one else can.
I'm all loaded.
Just to fill the time, in case anyone's curious, I got Shining Pearl.
Oh, nice.
The remakes of Diamond and Pearl.
Nice.
And it is so good. Like, the actual game is pretty much exactly the same.
Yep.
But the underground feature, if anybody remembers what the underground was like in the DS games, does anybody remember this?
Yeah, I was a dick.
bit.
I was a big dick. I was the guy who's like, oh, I'm going to your underground. Oh, yeah, here, just walk over here. I hit a trap, and you're gone. I'll see you in 20 minutes once you're done flying around. Ha ha. Yeah, that was me.
Yeah. So they made Underground so cool because you can find, like, in the newer games, like Sword and Shield specifically, they kind of have, like, wild areas. If anybody played that, where it was it wasn't quite like open world, but it like kind of was.
Okay.
Where the Pokemon just kind of walk around and you can see them and you can kind of avoid them and stuff if you want to. But they basically like put like little mini wild areas in the undergrounds.
Oh,
So like you'll be
nice.
walking through like digging for treasure and stuff like that, and then you get to a cavern and it'll be this like beautiful open space with like a bunch of like rare Pokemon. Well, I don't know how rare they are, but it's like I saw like a Skorupi and Toxicroak, I think, or something like that, like the frog
Oh,
thing.
nice.
Anyway, it just varied Pokemon, which is really cool. And it's beautiful as well. So
I think I got some
Which
spare
starter
copies
did
of
you
Mew.
Which starter did you pick?
I started with Turtwig because I've never played with Turtwig before. I started with Pimplip the first time I ever played, and then the second time I played through, I had Charchimp or whatever it's called, Chimchar, I think. But I was like, let's give Turtwig a chance. I kind of like the Torterra really grew on me in the new Pokemon Snap. There's a really tender moment where like in one of the things where like you can find some Pokemon just curled up on a Torterra's back, like sleeping.
Oh.
And like it would protect the littler Pokemon and stuff too. I was like, yeah, I'm definitely playing Turtwig.
He's a pretty awesome one. I mean, Chimchar is definitely
Yeah,
a
he's
little
cool.
ass kicker. When he turns
Yeah,
into his
it's just-
Monferno, it's very obvious he's
Something
only
like
built to
that,
kill
yeah.
things. But that turtle's cool.
Yeah, he's pretty cool.
Diamond and Pearl were the best. I remember those games.
It was just, I don't know if I've explained this to you guys before. It was just my first time that I actually had a PlayStation, like a Game Boy game that was actually like just mine. It was DS at the time, but like, because we used to, like, we had one Game Boy in the house and it was like essentially my sister's.
Yep.
And
Oh
I
God.
played it a little bit. But like when I was working at McDonald's and I had a job, like I was able to get my own DS that I paid for by myself, and I was able to get the new Pokemon game, and that was Pearl, and just brings back a lot of memories. I was going through I've been doing the underground, like, while we've been playing, just because it's very like mindless kind of stuff that doesn't really take a lot of focus. And I just like immediately got teleported back to like the bus ride into school.
Oh God.
Like playing Pokemon on my lunch break, like, and doing the underground and stuff, and it's just
Trying to
it's
find that
amazing
one
how
square that has
memories-
Feebas that day.
yeah, yes, it was
There
in the
you go.
waterfall
Yeah.
in Victory what's it called, Victory Road, I guess, or whatever, like before you get to the Elite Four.
You're like jiggling between two spots over and over and over, hoping you're going to get the little arsehole.
Yep. And it was only like certain times of the week and certain times during the day and stuff like that, because it goes by real time in this game.
Oh, it was the worst.
This is one of the first times I've played the game like when it's during the day. I got it, like, we didn't get home until like late on Friday night, and then yesterday we were running errands all day. So
Just change the system clock on your DS.
I can't. I play Animal Crossing, which also is a real clock, so I can't do it.
So, when did the original? Oh man, it does fit. Just this idea that like we're now living in the past again, because everybody's now playing. What is it? It's like the new. Is it Diamond and Pearl that just came out? Like,
Yep.
we've been
The
playing
remakes.
Diamond and Pearl. People are also playing Halo and Age of Empires, and like these are the, you know what I mean. These are the popular games now. Like, it's
man.
we're going backwards.
You're totally missing it, Kieran. I completely disagree with you. I'm gonna go play Final Fantasy VII Remake, but I completely disagree with you.
It's all going backwards now. It's all Halo game's fun, by the way.
We get another Skyrim game soon.
Back in my day, we had the same games. It was actually pretty great.
Yeah.
Basically, what's happening? I'm like, oh, it's Halo and Age of Empires. Like, this is just back in my day.
Actually,
All
I
right,
do
let's go
rank-
back to our challenge mode. Diablo 1 cannot return to town.
Oof, that would be fun, but oof.
That was the challenge.
I'm just gonna
Oh,
drive
Fergus,
off,
did she shout at you? Oh, what were you doing, you
Oh,
little
I
shit?
wouldn't let him pull the cushion off the chair. Oh,
See? You're a little asshole, pal.
You big meanie. Why wouldn't you let him pull out the cushion off the chair?
we literally got it yesterday. We just need a nice swing for longer than like 12 hours.
Now you're asking way too much. I need you to calm down over there.
He's probably in a huff as well because he's getting eye drops at the minute. So every morning and evening there is a wrestling match going on.
You're big cruel meanies.
How dare we look after his eyes?
Exactly. You big cruel meanies.
At $42 a bottle.
Well, that isn't too bad if it lasts for a good while. I had to start giving medicine to my older cat Patches. She has chronic pain because she's old, and it's we put it in her wet food in the morning. In the first couple days, she sort of was like, "Oh, this is different," but then she gobbled it down. Now she runs to the top of the stairs at the start of the day when it's feeding time for wet food and meows in a very soft crying manner, like, "Come on, I need my food, come on." I think she knows it's helping her. And I mean, I've noticed that it helps her. And thankfully, it's not like morphine. You know what I mean? This is long-term medication that brings the pain level back down. Her back's not twitching and she's not having any problems and she doesn't have any negative side effects. So they were like, great, keep using this stuff. It's $60 a bottle. It's like, oh, thanks. How much do I put in? Like 2 milliliters at a time. It's like, oh, great, this will last me like 2 months. No problem. For the amount of...
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. For the old cat, it goes a long way for her, and she's very comfy and happy, so I can't make any complaint. It could be a lot worse. I could be having to do stuff like put eye drops in her. She'd kill me. I am not kidding, man.
Cat burrito, where wrap them up in a towel, and it's like, all right, here we go. Like,
yeah, I'd have to do something like that to her. Oh, wonderful cat, don't get me wrong, but she's getting old. Oh, updates, cool. I'll get those later. They put out an update for the system, but I should get the music playing up again on this here creepy room where you're all stuck in.
That would be a risky click mid-game.
Which one now?
The updates.
Oh God, yeah, no. Nope.
So you're talking about going crazy for food. So this is my parents' dog.
Fair guess.
What a good dog.
Oh, such a sweetie. The biggest suck in the world, though.
Oh, looks like it. That dog is way too happy.
Like, all right, so, just so we're clear, I spent the night over at my parents' house one day. So I'm laying in bed and I'm reading a book before bed. And he's up there cuddling, so I'm holding the book with one hand, paying attention and doing it with the other. This, 3 seconds it takes to flip the page, every time he's nuzzling in, no, don't stop, I'm not done with cuddles.
Yep. The in-laws have a cat that's like that. She's a rag doll, and she'll cuddle the hell out of anybody who gives her the attention, same sort of thing. Yeah. But she's come to realize if she bugs me, she's automatically gets the attention. And last time we were down, I'm standing in their kitchen, doing a little bit of assistance, and this cat comes running from the other side of the house, meowing, meow, 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 comes right up to me, jumps right up to my face, essentially on top of a counter beside me, go meow. Everyone's like, wow, what's wrong with Hope? And I lean over, give her a scratch on the head, she crawls onto my shoulders, curls around my neck, and I'm like, apparently she wanted me. Because she just stayed there for a good hour. I just gave her all the pets because I couldn't help myself. Oh, we see Kieran's cat.
Oh yeah, that photo's actually flipped a bit because she's laying on her back there.
Yep.
She spent, I think, about 2.5 hours just laying on my lap while I was working on Friday.
Oh, that's nice.
That's just her turning her head, and I'm like, I'll take a photo of her, and she just flipped her head around to go what's that? What are you holding? Why are you petting me?
Photogenic cats are great cats.
Oh yeah.
Izzy loves the camera, so she'll come at it.
Is she getting big, Kieran?
Yeah, she's getting bigger. She's I don't think she's ever gonna be a big cat, but she's bigger than when you last saw her for sure. And she's getting better at jumping up onto things, much to my dismay. She's figuring out how to get on top of everything now. So,
tinfoil.
I have a lot of it's so I have to find places to put stuff that she can't get to it. So,
if you ever have a surface you do not want her to jump on, and she's just starting to do it now, cover it in aluminum foil. Cats
Yes.
positively hate the feel of that under their paws. The second they land on a counter, if it's covered in aluminum foil, they'll jump off. I did it one time. When our cats were young, I left it up for about 2 weeks, and that was all it took. However, my landlord came in, I remember, and it was at our first place 15 years ago. And my landlord comes in, sees that I have the entire countertops and everything aluminum foiled. She looks at me right funny. She goes, "You know, if you're going to be growing stuff, you got to cover the walls with the aluminum foil, not just the counters. What the hell are you doing in here?" And I just started laughing and I told her what was up, and she's like, "That makes sense. I like that." But she had fun at my expense for a minute. Oh, little kitty trying to do the jump.
Yeah, no, she's actually earlier, like during the break, I was in a bit of a panic because I had poured myself like a glass of chocolate milk and put it down on top of my freezer. And she's like, "Oh, something got put on the freezer." And she sidled up and she jumped into the glass, and I caught it before it spilled or fell or anything, but like she almost bulldozed it right off, and I'm like, "Kitty, no."
Yep.
It's funny. Zero error there.
That's the cat.
You
I
can. Cats can listen if you're
yeah.
consistent with her and you tell her no over and over again. She'll start to. They're really smart. They're just good at hiding it because they're defiant little shitheads.
100%, Jillian.
Oh,
Izzy will listen to me like a dog.
I know she knows. She's just like she's trying to test the boundaries. There's also the fact too that I'm not doing this anymore because now she jumps up there. I used to put one of her toys on top of the freezer because it was just in a convenient spot to grab whenever I wanted to like play with her, which is like her mouse on a string. Like it's like a stick with like a little like little bungee cable and a little knitted mouse thing, right? That she can
Catfishing rod.
and she would yeah, basically, and but she figured out I was putting it up there, so she'd jump up to go get it, and she'd grab it and like pull it off the freezer and take it with her. Like she'll grab the mouse and just drag like the string and the stick along with it, and she like carries the mouse away. So I've had to hide that in another spot now because she figured out it was up there and she kept jumping up onto the freezer for that. So she was probably doing that. She was probably seeing if she could find the toy. So, yeah, it's I'm learning to cope with her increased maneuverability.
It's half the fun.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and she's not done growing yet, so she'll probably get even better at it.
Alright, I think everyone's reconnected and everything's running good. Should all be hearing the music going, or at least the ambiance.
Oh, yep. Is it like a little trickling? Yeah, there we go. I think
creepy
it take a while
sounds.
for the track to kick in. Hey guys,
Oh, yeah,
hopefully I'll remember things better going forward in the game because I'm holding more memory.
All 8 gigs.
8 gigs. I upgraded my memory in my desktop recently as well.
My computer definitely has more memory than I do.
Alright, okay, so we were going to pick a different way, I think.
Yeah, we're gonna
Hopefully.
move on.
We can
Where did
you
we come in from?
this way.
I gave it a quick highlight.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
so I guess the question is we've got left, we've got up, and we've got right as our options from what oh wait, no, we also have down. We also have down.
Yeah, so we have 4 ways to go, and we can also use not Nimbar to scout, because this one theoretically shouldn't block telepath.
Yeah, in theory. All right. Well, then why don't we do that? Why don't we send down one of these?
Is anyone have a particular choice of which one to send it down?
Starting from the left path and going clockwise, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we can roll dice.
I was just going to say left, see what it's like would
We
be
can
to
go
our
left.
would
Like,
just seeing what was be to our backs.
yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind just taking a definitive approach. So, left.
So we're gonna go not Nimbar, find the dead end? Question mark?
Yep, comes to a dead end.
Well, I mean, that's one way eliminated.
I wonder.
Next. Just go clockwise and eliminate
Sure.
them that way.
Was that dead end? Was it just like did it look like it's just like a natural kind of cave in type of thing, or like when this place shifted, it was just cut off?
Hard to tell, as none of this area is really all that natural, but it did seem to be a collapsed cave at the very end.
Okay.
Then to the north, you see a very small area with some cobblestone work beneath your feet, though quiet. And to the east, another fancified room.
So,
Paths.
yeah, there's a couple more paths. There's also still the path down here. I kind of want to see what's behind this little tree thing.
Another small room with some cobblestone beneath your feet. And, unfortunately, that's the last you hear from your manifested mind. Literally walking in, saying, "Oh, telepathically, there's a room," and bzz, gone.
Well, that happened.
You're not even 100% sure what was in that room.
For some reason, my brain went to Stargate SG-1, like the little drone thing they send through the gate sometimes.
The mount.
Yeah, just like it's like.
And I will specifically say, because you know how your spells work and you know how the connection works with Manifest Mind, that your Manifest Mind has been dispelled. Gone. You would have to conjure it up once again.
Well, wonder if it entered a no magic area, like a magic dead zone. Those were a thing in the spell plague, right?
Well, thankfully, I have not summoned it today, because it's been summoned for a long time. So, I'm gonna just use the usage and resummon it.
I don't know if anything happens, but me and my imp were checking out the little offshoot, see that room to the top?
Walking through, as mentioned, it's another room that has some of the cobblestone on the ground below, along with stonework to the wall, but torn free and shoved into this cold abyss.
Okay. Yeah, it's just in the off chance something popped out, like in one of these little nooks and crannies, but...
Not specifically that you can see, but if you want to try and see through the snow and see through the ice to see what might be here, you can do a perception check in the area.
Sure, that sounds good. I'll give myself some guidance before I start scraping. If I click to beyond, yep, I have, so it should.
And I did drop your Manifest Mind back down for there, John. Should have it on the board for you.
I do see it, thank you.
With a 20 on your perception.
Is the game... Sorry, is the game paused for everyone else?
Oh, just in case, tap F5. You might have to reload the page. I relaunched the server for Dan. He was having some connectivity issues.
Okay.
But it should not be paused, and you should be hearing music, and you should be seeing some people meandering about. Except for not Nimbar, I nuked him, but then he came back, so yeah, you'll see him too. There's a downside to the Manifest Mind. There's only so much that can be said when you're walking into a stale room. It's like, you can see it on the map. I give you more deets as you explore, but you just want to know if there's a monster waiting for you? No, you're good. Just keep walking. You're good. But not no more, zap.
Well, again, I can actually see through his eyes.
Oh yeah, I know.
So...
That's the thing. You think it was a room filled with cobblestone, but the closer it got, the transmission just cuts right out and staticked on you. severe magical energies. But that's also why I describe the room, and you can physically see it. I can get into more descriptors as you look, but usually your manifest mind's floating through like, oh hey, look at that bookshelf. Jade's gonna love that. Keep going. It gets the overview. If you pause, that's a little different. Your perception, sorry. With a 21 on your perception check for Alec, as you look about, you can tell that the cobblework and groundstone beneath the ice and snow here was in fact exterior, and there are some slight markings on the ground here and there that looks like from weapon scratchings. So you're definitely in what appears to be an exterior courtyard of some form, or the remnants therein. You can also see, with your high perception, the small traces of the wisps of that same magic that permeated the previous room, indicating that maybe some spirit might also be trapped here as well.
Oh. I'll shout that out to the rest of the group, but I don't know if we'll have the magic to help everyone here. Maybe on the way back out we can hit more spots, but I don't know if we can be safe if we go around like awakening all this magic and seeing what's going on.
Lulu gives you puppy dog eyes, looks down a bit and says, well, if you think that's the best choice.
Oh, I don't think it's the best choice, Lulu, but we can't help anyone if we die. So I was thinking maybe on the way out we can lose whatever magic's left.
Lulu's just being my Reverend Lovejoy. Think of the children.
Won't somebody think of the children? Yeah. I feel ya. So, we're in a courtyard and there's weapon marks. This must have been some kind of like training ground? Or...
Judging by the repetitive nature of the marks, and the fact that they're not sudden and they're everywhere, and some of them considerably more worn than others, you would lean towards this being training grounds, yes.
Which is kind of weird for a magic school.
Depends how you look at it. I mean, eventually you'll run out of useful magic, but if you got a knife, everyone's got a neck and a groin.
I don't actually do this. Nimber just starts casting a bunch of firebolts. They're not running out.
Also,
I'm kidding, of course.
Also, someone's got a sword. Well, most spells need some semantic components. Hard to cast spells if you don't have a hand.
Lulu blinks a few times. That could be a problem for Nimba, but I don't know who Samantha is.
She was just a friend growing up. She was just really solid, just a real solid gal.
Oh, alright.
I just want to point, if you have no arms, your use with the sword is also going to be very limited.
As you make your way to the next area, where Bellamy has already begun to walk through to, as mentioned, you can clearly see what's in here on display. Statues, two great and strong ones. Very powerful, almost demonic in how they look. One of a Baylor. So, you know. The other one, however, is of a pit fiend. So both devil and demon in here. Exceptionally well crafted, made from the finest blackened stones. They loom over this room. small pool of water in the front of this one as well, as you can see at a glance, connected very slightly by an underlaying channel between the two pools. Pretty much see it with the dark line that they have cast right across here, right? Water connects from one to the other, flowing through constantly, though this one does not move at the same level of speed or pace. However, as that is said, Jade, as he approaches with his incredibly high passive perception, notices something glinting down at the bottom of that pool. More on that in a moment. You also notice the very front of these areas, these snowballs that you see down here, or what appear to be, are in fact the remnants of students' desks settled in one area for what remains. And of course, there's a bush here, and behind it a pathway that you can just barely see through.
Be careful going through that bush.
Not Nimbar, when he went through, was completely obliterated.
Can I, peek through the bush?
As you move a few bristles here and there, looking through, you can see the next room. There's almost nothing in there. The cobblestone beneath the snow, very solid and full. The walls themselves, however, you notice beyond the snow and ice, strong, powerful metal. But what really catches your eye is what's sitting in the top northern corner of the room. A large cylindrical glass tube with two large shut doors, and inside of it, one mean-as-hell looking suit of armor. Minus a helm. Beastly set of darkened black full plate with blue mechanical marking in between. Not only does it seem technologically advanced, but mechanically advanced as well. It almost looks like fibers between the plates, as opposed to just cloth holding it together. And you can see numerous runes etched and carved into the glass, going up to the ceiling and down through the floor, continuing. And a very clear, large padlock on the front of it, keeping the container closed.
What I suspect this room is about is probably where they have students practice their magic. It's probably in an anti-magic field. That's an assumption I'm making, for the record.
I don't think this room is for us. I'm gonna keep on moving.
Wait, you mean they practice their... there's a anti-magic field in the entrance? And then they go in? Or...
No. Probably
when your character
the entire
mentions that, I'm going to say that the other Nimbar, your copy, looks towards you and says, "Well, that would only make sense if the mind was suppressed. It was utterly obliterated, though."
Oh, interesting.
So it's a dispel magic field, so you can't take magic from outside in. I'm guessing it's to protect that suit of armor. Give me a moment.
Well,
They're shiny to find.
Well, he does that. I'm going to send the manifest mind down to here because that's a new path.
Just start stripping off. Get rid of all my magic items.
And the path does continue down towards the south in the direction that you were sending your manifest mind. It'll lead into a very, very large open area. Mind you, you're splitting your attention between your manifest mind and what's going on in the world around you now. Keep that in mind as Jade's messing around.
Yeah, no, I'm just sending it right here and just kind of waiting for Jade to do its thing, just in case.
Alrighty.
Just out of... Go ahead.
Sorry. Can I look and see if there's anything in the desks? Like any papers or anything left over?
Glancing through their damaged forms, you find the similar to what Jade had found earlier. Some of them have papers left within the remnants that are there, but moving them would utterly destroy them. However, mending could be used to repair any sheet of paper and take it out. But, as mentioned, these are most likely students' desks, meaning students' paperwork.
Can I read any of the writing that's on it? I'm just curious what they were
Not
learning about.
clearly, unfortunately. Worn in time and worn out.
Dang.
You'd need to
Okay.
use mending on them, essentially.
Fair enough.
And of course, this area as well. I don't need to make the players roll checks for this anymore. Why am I pulling up a user configuration? Weird. You wouldn't need to roll checks anymore. Simply the fact that you've gotten 2 passes. As the team walks into this room, you can sense the shift in magic once again, indicating that spirits, and S is in a bracket at the end there, so indicating that it might be plural or might be singular, spirit of some form is bound here as well.
Would your guys, if you cast spells for your staff, do you think that would work?
Casting a spell through the staff in order to feed the feed the condition of triggering the effect.
Yeah.
You'd be able, you can confirm it, Kieran, so long as it's actually casting a spell and not creating a spell-like effect. You'd actually have to cast a spell for it to work.
So then, in theory, my understanding, I mean, I'll confirm the writing of my staff, but I'm pretty sure, yes, I do cast these spells, so...
I think yours does. You've got a bunch on that thing.
Yeah. It's the staff of many tricks. So yes, in theory, I could do that. Would we want to give that a shot?
We could try. I don't know how many charges your staff has.
45, but different spells require different amounts of charges.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah.
My staff has 10 charges.
Yeah.
That's
It's-
ridiculous.
Mine has 20.
And I will say that the staff, 45 isn't full charge either. It's 50 is the maximum, but I don't usually like to have it at the max because I could actually use this to absorb spells cast on me as well, but I don't want to overload the staff, right? So, because if I overfill it, that can cause the staff to explode. So it's not good. Yeah.
Although
break it as well, that also can cause the staff to explode. It's a very dangerous item to frig around with. So.
Great strength, but with a great cost.
Yeah.
I can cast Pass Without a Trace for free. So I'll try casting that, see if anything happens, and then I assume it's not a high enough level to for anything to happen. I'll sprint back to this other room and try it there.
The room that you're presently in here, with the desks you're trying first?
Yep.
What's Pass Without Trace? Is that level 2 or 3?
Level 2.
Level 2?
So that's why I'm assuming it's not gonna do anything.
The similar sort of effect. It pulls and tugs, but it's not strong enough here as you attempt to cast Pass Without Trace. And then you're heading back over here.
Yep.
As you attempt to cast Pass Without Trace, it does carry and connect.
Ooh.
You could
I'd probably
trigger.
put myself in danger. I gotta be honest, I cast it with the intention of triggering it, so it would be... It would be, I would not be being truthful if I said that I paused.
Alright. As you walk in here with Kumshag on your shoulder, like, yeah, you know, boss, the odds of this working are not great. We don't have any good luck. We come to hell and bad things happen. I mean, look, I'm stuck as an imp. Some days I'm like, I really wish it would come to an end. And he screams as you see a blue sword float through the air. He goes, no, I was kidding! Drives through his form, cleave from head to toe, straight through your shoulder, arm, and hip and everything. Of course, without any damage. Poor Kumshag. Looks like he should have worn brown pants today, but thankfully, no pants because he's an imp. He's just frightened. He goes, I can't even make a dark joke. Holy crap, man, what is this?
Wait, was Comic on Alex's shoulder?
Yep.
I was just about to say, that's my armor, man. This is new.
Yep. However, you're greeted with a rather interesting sight. As you see in this room, a group of younger children, maybe ages 14 to 17, all in from one side to the other. 6 or 7 of them sitting around, 2 or 3 of them standing. One, however, nearest to yourself, catches your attention. The one that had swung one of 2 swords that he was wielding. A younger fellow with curly hair, though it's hard to get a gleam on him where his whole body glows blue, as with the others. He's quickly striking his swords at another student, stumbling backwards and falling. He draws short, holding the blade from delivering a deadly blow as he laughs, helps the other student up, explaining to them, "You'll get better, we just gotta keep training, we'll get stronger, don't worry." They cheer on. You see a few of the other students sitting around or waiting for their turn as they start to get up, get ready, grab weapons. One sits in the corner, long dark hair, covering most of their face. You see them sketching away in a rather familiar looking spell book. Before the memory repeats.
Spellbook?
And the kid with
Guys?
I guess I'm not there yet. I just had a thought. But I guess I'm not there, so I can't share it.
Alright, well, let's head over.
Well,
I
it's
see
just
where
my
you're
way
going
of-
with that, Jillian. I see where you're going with that too, I think.
Yeah.
But you see the light from where you are. The emanation wouldn't go too far, but looking over your shoulders with your range of vision and etc., even Bellamy, where she's at, would just see the light coming through.
There you go.
Oh, sorry. Did I jump in the same square as someone? No, I didn't.
No. Nimbar had Isaac attached to him and was like dragging him around.
Oh, sorry.
No worries. It's just like,
I guess you still don't have an actual token, so I can't really see it because.
Kieran, as your character walks in on this scene, he might pause for a brief second, because you recognize almost every one of them sitting here. The guy wielding 2 swords bringing them down, well, you remember him when he was about 5 years younger, being saved from underneath that church, along with many of the other same children. They're all here.
I suspected that. Do I think this is Dusty?
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. So I was going to say, like, I'll look at the way he moves and fights and see if I can recognize.
Yeah, I was wondering if the two.
The fighting
But I
stance that he uses is very strong, powerful. He plants his feet and swings both with great strength. Very little dexterous usage to him. Those of you who watch as they fight would have doubts that the combat style being used by the kid with 2 swords matches Dusty's.
But you said Isaac recognized the kids?
They were the same ones from the church, from the vision he had a very long time ago, of that town that was ransacked and only a few of them survived. Heck, you even see in the hand of that one kid sitting there writing away in a familiar-looking wizard's spellbook the same music box that the party recently found.
Oh, this is concerning.
Does the wait, that probably wouldn't make much sense. I was trying to think of like characters being only like long black hair or dark hair, but I can only think of the elf lady Zariel became. But I don't. She wasn't a wizard. She's
Ranger.
She was a ranger. Yeah.
Lulu would look up at you at this point and be like, "I'm not even sure if that's dark hair. Everything is just blue. Maybe a blonde."
Oh, that's true.
Do we recognize any of them? Like, do we know any of their names?
Not incredibly. With the exception of one. The one that's on the defensive, as the swords are being swung at them, as they're clearly learning, bears a striking resemblance to Isaac. Though, as Isaac might be quick to point out, his nose doesn't go like that, and he didn't have that dimple on his chin when he was that age, and that the little features here and there aren't the same. That's not him. But he bears more than a passing resemblance. You know, like, think the Prince and the Pauper at this one.
Probably one of your ancestors, maybe?
Big sign with doubt would pop up at that point.
Parallel timelines.
Huh. That's a good point. Maybe there's some sort of...
We turned out to be, through most of them, good, but we were never told we turned out with the same experiences and learning that we have now. So instead of picking up a book in one, you picked up a sword or two.
The one thing to that, though, with the parallel timelines, Negadusty has pulled echoes of the original party, and so, like, not Isaac and not Nimbar.
You never knew me, right? So
yeah. So, do we know that you're... Can we say for definite it's like a parallel timeline? Or...
No, it's just a theory,
because
right?
you mess with time magic, but are you definitely sure? Like, where are you from?
Well, that's a complicated question because I do make small adjustments to... I have made several small adjustments to the timeline in the course of my life via chronal shifts, but those are essentially micro changes on the timeline.
Lulu acknowledges this
Changing
and
a
says,
single-
yeah, I know, I give you a kick in the face every single time right before you do it, and you never remember. You have a moment where you think, no, that couldn't, but you get this flash of pain in your jaw, and you just sort of look at Lulu, and she looks at you with a knowing glance. You know, just for the hell of it.
Essentially, all I do is I just kind of exchange the current moment for an alternative, right? It's not so much as making a large-scale jump in the timeline as I am changing one, I guess, kind of moment, right? Like the current moment of the timeline.
But who's to say that, like, making that slight change doesn't create its own reality, one in which the first one continues?
I meant more, do you remember your childhood? Do you remember where you're from?
Oh, of course, yes. And, I mean, not just that, I can talk of my past experiences, like Master Nimbar here taught me as well. So, you know, he can verify. Like,
I
But
didn't
like,
know
if it
you
was
at this stage, though.
but to the parallel timeline as well, this can't be parallel because this is ancient.
Yes, there are. Although, if this is a different timeline, depending on how far it is, there are all sorts of things that can happen. The more, you know what I mean, the further away we get from where we are, the more extreme, you know, extreme these kinds of divergences might be. So.
And as you're all discussing,
I think that's...
I will say, as you're all discussing, Lulu just has a big smile on her face, looking from person to person, but you can tell that poor little floof is confused.
Did we not walk through the Garden of Blackrock, which is how many hundreds of years ago, that was dumped here? So they could have been doing some sort of magic and been dumped here because it was a threat.
Hmm.
Lulu would
Yeah, I
chime
just
in.
mean it.
And don't forget the free air Greyhawk, whatever the hell that meant.
Yeah, I just meant like they were. I was almost like removed from time. So like Isaac being here, like parallel would they would need to be born at the same time. So he couldn't have been like 10. He couldn't have been a teenager back then because he's
that-
only.
That, in theory, but there's a lot we don't know about in general about timelines and crossing timelines, largely because of the general embargo against the study of time magic.
Lulu, who's
To be
laying
fair-
on her back now, drinking water with her trunk, would lift up one of her legs and says, "Yeah, these exact reasons is exactly why we say no to the timer magic. Though if you all really want, I can go take a look at him and tell you if it's Isaac."
Well, if you're able to give
Wait.
us any ideas about what he is.
What do you mean? You can go look at him.
Well, Lulu speaks up. I told you, I don't see people, I see your souls and your spirits. And no two look alike, like a snowflake. Lulu,
Well,
who then holds
that's
up a snowflake on either hand. Holy crap, they're the same! Oh, you gotta see this! Flux! one melted, damn it! Oh well.
Well, if you would, that would definitely at least help give us more information, for sure.
Absolutely.
Lulu casually flips over onto her 4 feet, shakes off a bit of the snow and marches. She's like, "Yeah, all right, I'll clean this up right quick. Well, he does kind of look like you, I suppose, but that's a figment of a memory of an image. It's not a soul." She points her trunk towards the person with the 2 swords. However, she goes, "Now that right there, that's a soul, but I don't know." She squints a little bit and looks towards Isaac, and then squinty eyes the other one looks towards Isaac, and she's like, "I don't think you have the same chin." And she marches away, leaving you no better off.
So here's a thought. Are we able to commune with that soul in some way? Can we maybe get answers directly from that source, right?
Sounds like something that's out of my wheelhouse.
Mine as well.
And I think if you're thinking speak with dead, I think you need the skull.
Any sort of... I mean...
Jade.
So I guess this is kind of a question to our cleric. Do you have anything that would help with this, or...?
Not today, I don't.
Poor Bellamy thought she'd probably be having to save people from massive piles of damage, not wayward spirits.
Just to see what happens, Alec will see if he can interact, just like wave at it or something. Say hello. Because if it is a soul, maybe it can move. But it's stuck in a loop. Who knows?
As you attempt to speak or interact, it simply walks through you and continues on,
Thought so.
ignorant to what you're saying, trapped in the magics that bind it here. Though, as Lulu has confirmed, it's definitely something's spirit trapped here. You also notice... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Does know your enemy have any, do I get any information from it by observing it?
You could certainly scan them for a little while and figure out the information. They have all the stance and all the movements of a living being.
Okay, I'll do that. It's not, I don't think it'll be useful, but it's information I can get from it that I will get from it.
What you find staring this individual down is that they don't have any stats higher than yours. That shouldn't come as a shock. Same with health or any of that stuff. But they do have an abundance of fighter levels and a couple wizard levels, but mostly fighter levels. Nothing to bring them up to any degree of a threat or par. They don't break level 10, let alone level 7. But for someone who's young in training, that makes complete sense. Mostly fighter levels and a pinch of wizard.
Okay. I'll share that with everyone. Like, I don't know if it's useful, but I can tell you this much about it.
And the further you get away from them, you notice that the people in this area, the clarity of them greatly diminishes off, to the point that many of them you can no longer make out faces. Like the one sitting writing in a book. You can make out the book, but you can't make out who's writing, just hair in the way. Or the one off to the side who's presently doing some fisticuffs with another one. Even their actions repeat a heck of a lot more.
By the way, which book was it that we saw?
Oh, I told you, a very familiar wizard book.
There's the implication that it was the one that goes crazy.
Yep.
The 11th level spell
Sorry.
one. Wonder what happens if you open that book in the presence of a memory of itself.
But there is someone actively writing in that book. One of the children who survived. The one with the music box. Presently is taking Quill to the inside of that book.
Do you want me to? Do you want me to open it?
It seems dangerous. It was.
I mean, I agree, but like,
I don't know. Want is a strong word. Curious, definitely. It's difficult to say. It's hard to tell someone to open a book that punches them in the face.
all right. Why don't you all get back? Flux, just if you could just be on the corner, I may need a hand in just a second.
Okay.
Do you want me to open the book?
I guess it's just opening the book, right?
Yeah.
You all can go.
Technical knowledge to.
You do think I need technical knowledge, or you don't think I need technical knowledge? I didn't hear. Yeah, I mean, if you guys want me to, I can just be the one touching it, because, you know, I'm pretty meaty anyway, so if there's some damage to be dealt, then I can probably take it better than most of you, so... yeah, no, I don't mind. Just maybe you guys hang around a little bit in case you need to help me out.
Lulu scoffs a bit as she looks at you. Oh, I could take a pretty hard punch, you know. Oh, and she dances
Lulu,
off. Have fun!
Go with Bellamy, Lulu.
Like, she doesn't even hold the glance for a second. She's already giggling, just going like, have fun, don't get killed, we don't want to waste a man.
Nimber will pass you the box and then just kind of take a couple steps back.
I'm becoming quite fond of hiding in bushes.
It's your
MO?
Yeah, it's my new go-to.
Her favorite terrain.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, bushes are my favorite terrain.
Terrain bushes.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
Alec
specifically the frozen kind.
Alec will be like 5 foot behind Flux, just with his arms crossed, just looking.
Jade, are you going to stay in the room?
Oh, yeah, I'm curious.
All right.
I assumed when
I have athletics trained. I can assist her in closing it.
I just assumed when everyone else was backing out that the original 3 would stay. Just I assumed you were talking to those guys.
I mean, Nimber's also staying. He's taking a couple steps back. But
Yeah.
We're watching from a safe distance.
I sent my imp to hide in the same bush as Bellamy.
It's kind of funny. Like we have like the original 3, then Nimbar joined, and then the others.
Yeah, it's a tiered system.
Jade's used to being punched in the face with magic. What is it? I mean, he had that box that did it.
And Flux tried to banish him to the astral plane.
Oh, that was
Traumatizing, yes. Okay, I'll open the book.
All right, give me a deck save as you do.
Okay.
just her.
Just
The
her.
other 2 are like, okay.
Ah, shit, I forgot to hit VTT after refresh. But I got a 24.
That's a pass. You take half damage from the explosive energy. I mean, it's 2d6 force damage. I'm putting that one in the public for, ooh, look at those. You take 4 points of damage. Even though the DM goes, ooh. I get excited because I rolled high. Not that it makes shit difference against what, 250? 220. I was close.
Oh, I'm a lot lower now. I was at close to 250, but then I had to get rid of my ASI, so.
220, that's a heck of a lot lower. Gee, I don't got bad guys who are that strong.
I'm sure Flux will pop back up at the next level up.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Yep, the big one be the big one. Now, oh, sorry. You go ahead, Dean.
She just flexes slightly and is like, yes, I am tank.
So, as you flex up on it, the book bursts open, and a virulent display of magic once again, because that's the dollar sign. Explosive energy from the book. In order to close it, would cost athletics. But you do see the words tearing free from the book, shattering across the ground, the walls, drifting through the spirits that float through this hall.
Anything happening with the other book?
Not that you're noticing, no.
Okay.
Mind you, this is literally seconds that I'm talking about. I'm treating this like a turn, even though we're not in combat. Every round that goes by, Jillian will be taking damage from the book, holding it open. So, it's up to you how long you leave that open and then close it. Or attempt to close it, I should say.
So can you explain to me again what's happening? I've opened the book and the words are coming out of the book?
Oh, the book's just exploding with power, flipping through its pages drastically as all of its magical energy is spewing out. It looks like you're holding a fountain of water just exploding, but it's all magical energy, not water. The words and letters from the book itself are tearing free as well, plastering themselves across the floors, the walls, everything. Though they don't stick to anyone. They drift through you, your companions, through the spirits, and burn into the ground.
Guys, what do you want me to do here?
Go ahead and close the book, I think.
Yeah, if nothing's happening with the yeah.
Okay, I'll close the book.
Alrighty. Give me an athletics on that one, which you get with advantage.
Oh shit, I forgot to hit VDT again. It was also 24.
24? As you struggle, you are unable to close the book as more power begins to violently erupt from it. This representing the end of your turn. You now take... Oh, you get a dex save again, sorry, for as the book explodes drastically.
Oh, yeah, no, that's okay.
So you give me another dex save.
But let me just double check that I hit VTT. I thought I did, but I'm just gonna, I always doubt myself.
And you spellcasters will note that more power is coming out of the book now after one turn. A 15 is a success, so you take half of 15 points of force damage.
Okay, so 7?
Yep.
Okay. All right, and I will try to close it again.
That's another athletics check.
Am I still assisted, or am I doing it by myself?
Oh, you're still getting assistance. I'm assuming,
yeah.
Dean, you've got Alec.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I think both Alec and Jade are attempting to help.
Oh, that's more like it.
With a 32, you do close the book the second time, as the power tears. Though you manage to close it as mentioned, and it immediately shuts, going silent once more.
Did we learn anything?
Yes, don't open the book.
I give Jade like a little shoulder punch. Affectionate in brackets.
Right, so the...
Oh, so that's why I'm missing health.
However,
so the
I'm going to say around this point in time is probably when Nimbar is going to notice that there is, in fact, a change to this room. Where previously the time loop ended with the one with two swords helping the other up, It extends on a little further now, as you see the scholarly fellow in the corner writing in the book sets his quill down for a moment to rub his fingers through his hair, muttering something about never being able to figure out this damn spell. Which leads to a laugh from the one holding two blades, giving him a nod and pointing and saying, "Well, it's your turn. Time for some training." Before the memory starts to loop once again.
Oh, so we got more information from it. I could try opening the book again. I'm fine.
The only concern is that opening the book, it does seem to be actively damaging it over time, so there will be a limit inevitably on how...
I'd like to try something. Let's go ahead. I'm going to cast Fly. It's a 3rd level spell.
Yep.
Does it give me the option to pour it into the magic?
The magic in this area has already been activated. So you've cast Fly on you?
Yeah, on myself.
Alright. You now have the ability of flight, but you can't fly.
Okay.
You try to take off, and it's like, damn, I can't even fly with the fly spell. And Lulu looks over. I told you fly doesn't work, man. Well, you think I'll just be waddling along on these 4 legs for my health? No.
I don't know what it is about Lily shouting at someone. That's funny.
Yeah, no, what I was hoping would happen was, like, I was hoping, like, you could overcharge it to learn more.
Well, opening a book with 11th level magic in it and letting that release its power into where it's already been charged may have actually done that prior to you using a 3rd level spell.
Yeah, probably a little late. You're right there.
That's partially where I'm leaning with that one. I don't want to... It's one of those moments where the DM doesn't want to destroy a good idea when it comes up, but he just sort of leans in and he's like, you opened up that book. So... But this does indicate that using higher level spells than what you require may give you more.
Interesting.
Okay.
Probably assume that given the level of the book that one's probably tapped out at this point. That particular memory.
Flux is like, oh no, let me check. Opens the book, her face gets plastic, closes the book. No, it's still got some. Sorry, I watched too much Looney Tunes.
No, I meant the
it's okay.
memory. I meant the memory was tapped out.
Yep.
Like, that we should assume that given the scale of the book's power, that we're not going to get anything else out of this particular memory. Even if we threw like a high level spell at it. So.
Okay. All right. So, and have we gathered by now that the point of view is that of the 2-weapon using child? Is that the center of the spirit?
Yep.
Or the spirits whose memory it is? Probably makes more sense to say.
The spirit that is trapped here.
I believe the spirit that was trapped here is the one that's training them all.
Yeah.
Still about the same age as the others, but yes, I can confirm for Jade on that one that the one with the 2 swords is teaching them how to wield swords.
What was the question I was going to ask? Yes, that was it. We going to release the souls of these children, let them move on.
Jade, did you want to try anything before we did that? Because you seem to be wanting to do more with the teacher before we set her free.
No.
Okay. I say let them go.
Alright.
I do think there's obviously information to be gained from it, but Isaac makes a point. Maybe we've gotten all the information we can get.
Yeah.
And maybe each cavern is going to give us another little piece to the puzzle.
Yep.
Alright. So. I guess I'll cast Dispel Magic this time?
I mean, I can keep doing it if you want, but I don't have Arcane Recovery anymore, and
Yeah.
every time there's every third level spell is one less Revivify.
Yeah. I'll cast it this time. Like,
Sounds good.
more or less, I was saying I was going to do it so that way you didn't waste. So we didn't try and like race to cast it.
Lulu
Alright,
gives a nod and acknowledges. Oh no, you gotta keep them revivifies. I don't want to get toasted down here.
Yeah. So I get my intelligence plus proficiency, so I'm just going to roll an Arcana.
Yep. A 17.
Do you roll a d6 for that? I hope you have a really good time with it.
20 total. Remember that description I gave earlier when Alec was doing all the glowy stuff too? Well, Nimbar
Hey,
does
Kieran.
the same. Only takes up half the size though.
How many chronal shifts do you have per day?
Well, I have 2 chronal shifts, I believe. And then I also I've used one already. And then I also have Convergent Future, which I can use, which is the better version. I can use that as many times as I want, but every time I use it, I gain a level of exhaustion, so...
Yeah, you don't want that to stack.
Yeah, it's something I use reluctantly. The difference between Chronal Shift and Convergent Future is Convergent Future, rather than making a reroll, I just essentially I put it at the minimum number to succeed, or one less than the minimum number to succeed, therefore making it a fail, right?
Okay.
It's like
I can choose to
legendary
make something
resistance.
succeed or fail. Yeah. Although, if I say I make something like fail, but then like that target then uses something to boost the result as a reaction, they can still succeed by doing that, right? So, yeah.
Why did I feel like maybe Nadpod's got me all screwed up, but I thought that it was more than that.
I don't know. No, it's only two. It's only 2 per.
Yeah, no, I absolutely believe you. I for some reason I had it in my head that it was more.
I think. Well, in that Nadpod, they had like beefed up short rests and stuff. Maybe that happened quick because of that.
Alrighty. Well, Nimbar has successfully dispelled the magic in this area. And I was going through the descriptions, and I mentioned just like one I did for Alec, except, half the size, because he's small. That's okay, though. Nimbar uses his magic, and a 20 is enough to dispel the effects. As you see the spirits slowly disappear, and the one that remains, as it slowly starts to turn into blue sparkling fireflies, it looks towards Nimbar and smiles and just says, "This was my happiest memory."
Oh man.
Did it say that in a happy or an angry way? Have we gotten rid of something's happiest memory?
Oh, it had a soft smile on its face as you freed it from this.
What I think it was saying was like, it was trapped in its most pleasant memory, but it's still glad to go. But that's just my interpretation. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
Maybe it's slightly paranoid here. Don't mind me.
No. You're perfectly fair, my friend. It's quite a world we live in. Nimbar feeling a little crushed because like all these children have been trapped, and it's like,
Well, thus far, one.
Yeah. One child, one adult, right?
yeah.
And even then, they're like 15, 16.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's pretty much still in the cradle as far as he's concerned.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Helping John feel a little better here, though. It's like DM's like, no, it's slightly better. They've lived some of their life. I mean, they're still orphans from the church, from a war, from all hell that broke loose as Kieran up, but they've lived some life. Well, with that one knocked off, where's the party off to next?
Nimbar's gonna now send this down the hallway.
Well, I suppose we could.
There's a pool of water over there with a shiny thing in the bottom Jade is curious about, and there's a lock over there that Jade would like to pick.
Yes. Okay.
Indulge
wow.
a bit of Jade's curiosities then.
Yeah.
I pulled focus away there for a little bit. That's on me.
Let's go check out the shiny pool, maybe. See how that is.
Looks
The shiny
cold.
item in the pool, rather.
Ooh, I missed a line in the middle. Hold off on moving that not Nimbar any farther for a moment.
Okay.
I just realized I forgot a spot for the design of that area. The entire center spot. But that's fine, it's just for lighting.
No.
Because you can see what appears to be, in this first area that I'm sending not Nimbars at, what appears to be a theater hall. Or at least the steps of one. Then I got the lighting in there now for that area. Steps leading up to a front amphitheater area, but we'll get more on that as we go over to talk on Jade's first, because, well, non-Imbar is just wandering around. And it kind of does make a break, because essentially lets you split the party, which completely splits the story, so it gets a little wonky. As for Jade, yes, you are indeed noticing something shiny at the bottom of that pool.
How deep is the pool?
20 foot.
Does the shiny thing look big?
Not incredibly, no.
Can I try and mage hand it out?
Yeah, you can send a mage hand in after that one.
Okay.
Just 1 second here. Still fixing another part of the map because I made a slight goof. As you use your mage hand and it floats down under the icy cold water, it wraps and it pulls and slowly lifts up a chest. Nothing too large, mind you. Small lockbox, but still a chest nonetheless.
I'll just set it down on the ground in front of Jade. That's all you, man.
Yep, is it locked?
At the very least, it's jammed up. You could use athletics, or you could try your sleight of hand to break it open. But where it's been underwater for so long, it's a bit on the seized side for sure.
I hope it was a waterproof box.
So a 6 plus 12 plus 5 on that sleight of hand with a min 10, 33. You have no problem with your sleight of hand breaking the lock, opening it and cracking it. However, the box is still quite sealed as the edges around it, well, they're pretty stuck. Dan, meanwhile, is probably flipping the keyboard like, I passed, why didn't it open? And it's like, well, that made the DC for the athletics check a lot lower. Oh, yeah, no problem. Pops right open. It does take a good strain, And you're some happy you undid the lock because you feel a 23 might not have passed. But it does pop open for you. And you're met inside with a lot of debris, a lot of worn out stuff, and a lot of water that seeps out. As you look through, you notice a few small trinkets, however, that have survived. Though they're not anything of any great special nature. Though there's some writing on the inside of the box. In common, it says, "Lost and found."
Stop. Incredible.
Okay, so whenever I get some rest time, I'm gonna start mending, just mass mending.
That's gonna be funny.
I want to know the random shit I just found.
If anybody knows Atlantis, when Vimmy's doing his stuff and he's pulling all the bombs out and he's like mentioning all the gear he's got in there and he pulls out like paper clips, it's gonna be Jade later today.
So you said Atlantis, and instantly I thought of Stargate Atlantis, and then I'm getting very confused. I'm like, what? What are you going? Oh wait, no. There's a show called Actual Atlantis.
Yeah. The awesome Disney cartoon.
You mean I was gonna ask. I think he means the Disney cartoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Movie Atlantis.
Yeah. Sorry, I said show. I meant movie. My apologies.
Oh, okay. No. That's. I do apologize.
Sure,
there has been shows called Atlantis before.
I'm Canadian. I have to apologize.
Fair enough.
It's in our contract, didn't you read?
True.
Okay, now shall we go see if we can get some epic armor for Flux there?
I can see you itching to do it. You're vibrating, so by all means.
Copying and Barrel's tip. I volunteer not to go in.
Oh yeah, you would turn into a puddle.
Yeah. I don't like the idea of that.
Fair enough. Although I promise to use you to ice at least one beverage if you pass.
Well, so long as I can make you happy even once I'm dead, I guess that'll make life death all that much better.
So who's going in the room?
Jade, I thought.
I am. I'm just thinking about which gear I should go with, because if there's a dispel magic, it could ruin some gear.
Yeah, that's what I was worried about.
That's why I made the joke earlier of Jade stripping down to his undergarments.
Well, I don't know about that far, but
Well,
looks
by
up, she's like,
undergarments.
I can ditch the circle. It's the only magical thing I got. My fur keep me good in there, I think.
Can I do a quick see invisibility?
Yeah. And
I
what
just
spell
want
level is see
to-
that? Second level? The room grabs at it, this room here, but it's not enough powerful magic. Though you do enable your see invisibility.
And do I see anything invisible?
What you can see out the corner of your eye are the specters that still haunt this room. You can see what appears to be someone of authoritative position at the front, and many students studying, but you can't see the fine details, like I said, out the corner of your eye.
Y'all, we got ghosts. Just throwing that out there.
I ain't afraid of no ghost.
Oh,
I could
well,
not.
That
Couldn't.
makes one.
I could not.
Lulu looks up. Oh, well, aren't you Mr. Brave Pants? They scared the poop out of me. I'm terrified of ghosts.
oh, don't worry, Lulu. I know who to call.
Oh, good. You guys have Will's number?
Yes.
Can you see Fergus from your office?
He was here a second ago.
No, I
Oh,
see
God.
him. He's chewing something, and I think it's his bone, but he's right beside the table, so I'd like.
Oh yeah,
check.
he's tuning his bone on the.
Okay, I was pretty sure it was. Okay, just wanted to
I
make
think
sure.
he quite
Sorry,
likes
guys.
the cowhide.
Yeah, he does.
Can you banish ghosts, Lulu? You're a soldier of heaven.
Lulu looks towards as you say that, and she tilts her head a bit. She goes, well, yeah, I do have a banishment. I could do that. I could also raise the dead, some magical shape changing too. That's pretty good. She looks over towards Bellamy. I got a bless spell too. That's a fun one, but I don't use it because your body stuff is really cool. And I can make protection from good and evil, but I don't use it. And she leans over at this point and whispers to Jade, because the jury's still out on you, but I don't want to risk it. So you know. I got me some magic.
Incredible.
Let's be honest. Jade is borderline.
Yep. The chaotic neutral, right?
Yeah. Like one move and he would probably shift chaotic evil. So, yeah, borderline.
She have the barrier up. He stabs an enemy in the back with assassinate. He gets biffed outside the barrier. Saves one of the teammates. He gets to go back in. Kills a bad guy. He's back out. He's like, this is confusing. And Lulu's like, oh, you're talking to me. Oh, poor little Lulu. But, so the question remains, for the mythically, awe-inspiringly, overly powerful-looking suit of armor in the corner.
Any equipment below artifact grade, I will leave behind because the dispel magic, anti-magic stuff will cause it to not function, and I will go in and try and pick the lock.
So you got Honeysickle with you?
Yes.
All right. As you walk into this room, you sense waves of power and energy washing over you. 3 steps in, then Honeysickle is drawn silent.
Oh boy.
I'll go ahead and I'll move Jade forward. Any magical items that you have on you of any other form, I'm mentioning this now just in case there's something, anything you have magical that you have on you is rendered normal.
Forever?
And Honeysickle has fallen silent. Your artifacts are a separate matter. But any magical items that you're carrying on Jade besides your artifacts, and you said there were none, but I'm saying this anyway, are now mundane.
Okay.
Is Honeysickle not an artifact?
It is, but it has fallen silent.
Oh, okay.
They blocked the telepathy part of it as far as is what I am understanding from it.
Okay.
As you approach, the runes over the glass light up from top to bottom in a mixture of draconic, celestial, infernal, and many other languages, all binding together to create an incredibly powerful spell, which primary design that you can tell since Jade has dipped his toes is all for the arcane art of sealing away this suit of plate mail.
Interesting.
Should be. Is it a security system in a museum, or is it a prison?
That's kind of what I'm wondering.
But since you're nice and close, minus the helm, that's the plate behind the glass.
Oh boy.
It's a present.
That's nice.
Ooh.
Oh, hey, it's most definitely a prison.
Yeah.
Does it look
But-
like the
but-
armor that had entrapment on it, or whatever that was, that started this whole obsidian stuff whenever we were in that forest? You know, when we met Negadusty and all that?
Oh, you're talking imprisonment.
Yeah, that's the one.
You give me a perception check as you're looking over that suit of plate. As Jade draws close.
I'll say it to Alec. I'll be like, does that look familiar to you? Just kind of give him a little poke.
Let's have a look. See here. Is this Do you want me to help you with the check or something?
Or I can help you. Whatever
Well,
works.
Perception checks are just perception checks. You roll those
Right,
solo
I
for
was-
this scenario.
I thought you might say
You
that.
want me to roll as well?
Yeah,
Oh, not bad for me.
You
That
can,
help.
but Jillian just took the pressure off. But definitely roll one for yourself as well, because Jade's somewhat out of earshot of them. 27. Judging by the armor, its curvature, and its design, it looks like a completely uncorrupted version of the same armor Evil Dusty is wearing. All the obsidian dolls, all the designs that any of them have used, bear a striking artistic resemblance to how this armor is forged.
Interesting.
Uh-oh.
Now, unfortunately, the rest of y'all too far away. But Jade, if he had some way to read a bunch of languages, could actually read what's there.
Abyssal, Common, Infernal, Thieves' Cant, and Undercommon.
You'd still need Infernal, Draconic, Celestial, and a few others. Dozens of languages have been comprised to create this seal. Your languages you do have are what lets you know that it's a seal holding this in.
I go to Alec and ask for his helm of comprehend languages.
There it is.
The problem is the problem
Hang
is
on. If you take it in there, it'll just become a helmet.
Helm of Helmet.
Hold on, I have
But
a
what
thing, I think.
what we could try is I have a potion of comprehend languages. You could drink this, then try and go in.
What's your thing, Courtney?
Yeah.
I have, oh, where is it? Okay, cleric. Oh no, wait, bard. Universal speech. As an action, choose 5 creatures within 60 feet. The chosen creatures can magically, understand you. Whatever.
Good
Never
try
mind.
though.
good try, yeah.
Lulu sort of waddles over. Yeah, next time Dougal gets mad at me, could you use that on him, please, so I know what the hell he's saying?
Absolutely.
Oh, thank you.
Or you could put on the helmet, cast it, take it off, then go in, because it just lets you cast the spell. Is that what you're thinking? Not take the helmet in itself.
No,
Either way,
it-
you're able to cast it. Yeah.
I'm just worried that it'll probably still be dispelled, but try it.
Yeah, it's
Well, I'm
going to
worried
get
too, but
dispelled.
Yeah, I don't think
I-
it's gonna have like too negative of a consequence though. Besides just like wasting a charge or whatever.
Oh, it
Actually,
doesn't even
what
use a
we-
charge. It's just a free.
Nice.
Oh, then yeah, definitely try it. Can't hurt.
If it's literally costing us nothing, then
Costing us like 6 seconds. Oh no.
I will say that if we do get it out there, which involves breaking the seal, which is probably a bad thing. Isaac does know a few more language. He does have Draconic and Celestial that he can add to that pile, as well as Elvish, Dwarvish, Infernal.
Yeah, but it's on the
Yeah.
the lock system itself. It's not on the armor.
Oh, okay.
So the tube glass that's going up and holding the armor, this is where all the writing is.
Ah, okay.
Well, if you know all the
I
if you
know
know all the
Celestial.
languages, yeah. Well, anyone can go in. They just need to like give us their magical items to hold. Like you just stand at the door like a doorman. Yep, take a ticket. There you go. Take a picture of the ticket. Don't want to be finding you at the end of the night without a jacket. Go on, move on. $5. Let's go.
I'll take my stuff off and go in.
Bellamy casually
I'm
walks
gonna
in there.
Yeah, I'm gonna literally like just dump basically almost all my clothes and every bit of equipment and then walk in.
That epic moment, Bellamy goes to the beach. She just grabs the cloak on her back, throws it off, and she's down to just the basics. Just enough.
Yeah.
She's got on a pair of shorts and a t-shirt. You don't even know how she got it off all that quick. But by the power of plot, she did it.
You
Yeah.
can tell that Bellamy's young. Only young people can wear next to nothing in a cold night out.
Yeah, it's true.
It's true. It's true.
Now, what languages? You have Common, Celestial, Halfling, and Undercommon.
Yeah.
So Celestial adds to the pool, and you're able to deduce a bit more. Ooh, pardon me. But, between the two of you, you're still not enough for you to piece together what it says. Though, one word stands out in Celestial to you. Because I believe it was Celestial that you have that Jade does not.
Yeah.
Perfect, just making sure I don't want to put my foot in my mouth here. Where Jade had had discovered seals and holds, only one word stands out for yours to add, and that's the word Thane.
Thane. That mean anything to you, Jade?
You mentioned there's Draconic writing in there too. I
Oh,
think
yeah.
That's the language that we did, and none of you have
Thank.
Draconic.
I mean, I have Draconic.
Well, sure, but I was just none of the people in the room is what I was asking, right?
The two of
Oh,
those
okay.
do not know.
No.
Then I'll remove all my magic stuff and hand it over, and I'll go into try and translate what I can, add to the pile.
Alrighty. As you go in there, and let me just check your character's languages here. It's always hard to find you on the map, though. Hang on.
It's,
There you are.
Slush. Yeah, okay.
Let me bring you over so you're in the same room. You're white and the map's white. It's not helping me. With Celestial and Infernal, I believe those were fresh. I'm just double checking because I don't think Jade has Infernal. Oh, he does. My mistake.
Yep.
So one more added to the pile. Because I kept track off to the side, and now I'm just ticking one on each time, but I didn't list them. I just numbered it. With one more on the pile, you see that it says Slayer of Thane.
Slayer of Thane.
So what languages are we missing now?
Two. Two
Okay,
languages. Sorry.
See, I could add Druidic, Primordial, and Sylvan to the pile, but they're not usually found in arcane stuff like this.
Yeah. We already have Abyssal and Infernal in there, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Like
I can go in and try those languages. I just need a few minutes to get everything off.
Yeah. I mean, I know the only one. Does anyone know Gnomish?
No.
Presumably you.
I mean, obviously, me, but I'm just wondering if anyone else does.
I don't think so. I don't.
Alright.
All right. Well, then Nimbear will also take his time and will carefully put aside his magic items, and then once he's all of the magic items are off, he too will make his way in. Can he read anything in Gnomish?
Unfortunately, the languages that you have do not add to the pile.
All right.
There's nothing
Once
in Gnomish up there.
All right. Once he confirms that, he will then leave to put back his magic items.
Yeah,
He's basically
what-
walking
what-
back, pointing, saying, "You guys can read the Abyssal there, no problem. The Infernal, okay? Yeah, no, I'm putting my pants back on. I'll be back."
What about when Alec gets there and he's skivvies?
Alec shows up, hands on his hips, giving a nod, just like, "Oh yeah, look at that right there. You got a whole. It's all Elvish holding everything together there, and Primordial on top of it." Because
Huh.
you happen to have two of the other things. I don't think either of the players, from what I saw, know Elvish. Bellamy does not. Yeah, but your character didn't go in there yet, did he?
Yeah,
I thought he did.
That's why we had the. That's how we got Draconic. That's how we got the.
Well, you would have got the Elven then for that one, but you were still short a piece because Alex the only one with Primordial. So regardless, it would have been another piece added to the puzzle to get the last pieces to mix it all together to language.
So did we get them all?
Yep, Primordial being the last piece of the puzzle. And what you find is it says... this is the armor of Smargard, mightiest of the five Thanes.
Does anyone know what a Smargard is?
I presume that's not something history would give us. It's probably not related to our history.
Yeah. Are we able to make a history check on that?
Yeah, that's.
It's not a creature from any of the histories that any of you have ever heard.
Okay. Yeah, figured.
I'll ask Lulu if you guys are saying it out loud. Lulu, do you have any?
Yeah.
Lulu looks up, blinking a few times. She looks back to the pool of water. Oh, I wonder if that water is drinkable. Looks back, just smiles like, yeah, water might look drinkable. What do you think, Flux?
Lulu, do you know what a Thane is?
Yeah, they're usually someone big bad who's in charge of something important, right? Yeah. Like sometimes people be like, he's my Thane, he's got to do the thing, he's in charge, and stuff. Big smile on Lulu's face.
Lily, did you increase your dexterity because you're dancing around the answer to this question?
Well, yeah, because I haven't heard the name Smargard in a very long time. It's spooky, and I really don't want to jinx nothing.
Oh.
I mean, well, I do know there was these sort of dragons. You see, Lulu gives a nod. Well, they're not like Flux. Well, I mean, they might be pretty fun and cool. I don't know about that. It varies, but you see, they're not made of flesh. They're made of crystalline substances, gems. Amethyst, crystal, emerald, a sapphire, and topaz. Very beautiful colors, very beautiful creatures, very destructive and dangerous. Which is something that Flux would be able to attest to, but you've never seen a gem dragon. They are incredibly rare and even mythical in nature. Lulu goes on to confirm further that Smargard, he was a big old emerald dragon, and he was said to be the absolute strongest of all the emerald dragons. And I really don't know what happened. I just know someone kicked his ass, and that was the end of it. But I don't know nothing more.
Be like,
Insight check.
I was just gonna say, I'm thinking about doing an insight check, but I'm just gonna pick Lulu up and give her a little hug, and I'll be like, if that's all the information that you think we need, Lulu, then I trust you.
That's really all I know. It's all in whispers and murmurs and really before my time. But I think he was a topaz dragon or something like that. He was pretty good. Or emerald dragon. Emerald. Or was it crystal? No. Charisma is sapphire. Tatanas topaz. Yeah. Smargard. He was emerald. The emerald one.
Why were you worried it was gonna jinx us, Lulu?
Well, I can tell you about the gem dragons are pretty friggin' tough and really weird. They use the psychic magic and stuff and float, but the emeralds, inquisitive and knowledgeable, make them very dangerous, but incredibly damaging. And the Thanes among them was stronger than any other. It's like she looks at this point towards the rest of the party. What's the strongest dragon you've taken down so far?
They're strong. Probably the ancient whites.
Yeah, hatchlings. She nods her head. Hatchlings, compared to what one of those monsters would be capable of producing in its capacity. Entire worlds bow to them.
Was it the ancient whites or was it the reds from behind that M door?
They weren't ancients. We'd have died if they were ancients.
As a young red dragon, gives you an idea of how much stronger you've gotten, eh? One young red dragon was enough to really push the letter on the team at one point. 2 ancient white dragons at the same time. Not so much. But now Lulu warns you of these Thanes. Powerful, beastly conquerors.
Huh.
Well, even if we did want that armor, how would we get it out of there without dispelling all the magic from it?
It would be artifact grade, so the magic shouldn't be dispelled, because a creature of that size would have something of artifact grade.
And what I can confirm for Jade, looking at this one, all of those arcane magics and all of those everything reinforce the lock holding it shut. If you pick that lock, it'll open up clear as day for you.
That sounds like a trap.
Oh, it most definitely is a Jade-style trap, because Jade's curiosity will drive him to do it.
You can see Lulu lifting up one of her legs to give her ear a slight scratch. As she's still being held by Flux, she goes, I really don't like emerald dragons. I'll never bump into one. And didn't use a breathe weapon like you've got. How you shoot out the electricity? Well, this thing just goes, blah, and my ears hurt for like 3 friggin' weeks. Oh.
Yeah.
Can I?
Did it hurt you in your brain?
Oh, it hurts so bad. Knocked me right the hell out. I'm sorry, Bellamy was asking. Courtney, you got one there?
No, sorry, I interrupted you guys. I was just gonna say, okay. Can I cast Identify on the suit of armor?
We can't cast spells in here, I don't think.
Oh, right.
It's
right.
most likely
Stuff.
the spell will fizzle when you attempt to cast it in here. Probably.
Right. Okay.
There's only one way to do it. Pop the lock open.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just in case anything bad happens, I'm gonna go get dressed again.
Yeah, me too.
Nimbers.
Unless you
the
want
last
me
of his
to...
buttons as he says that.
I don't know if I can help you though, Jade. I'll try and help you, but probably the best I could do is hit something with a rock or a stick.
Oh,
I'll stay in here in case I need to drag Jade out. But I'm gonna move back a little
That's a
bit.
good point. That's a good. Actually, I'll stay
Well, I'm still-
by the entrance, and because as soon as I get out this anti-magic field, I can, druids don't need to be dressed.
Yeah, I'm gonna get my gear back on because I don't think I can do much in terms of dragging, so.
Bellamy, did you want to come out and put your magic items on?
No,
She's-
that's okay.
She's in there with
Right.
Jade. She can't.
That's why I asked if she wanted to come out and do it.
Oh no, she said she's
No,
staying in
I'll
there.
stay in here.
Yeah. Yep. No.
Yeah,
that's-
just
that's
in
fair.
case someone needs to drag Jade out.
Yeah. She's being pragmatic.
I'll Flux will offer to go in instead if you think it would be better.
Maybe, because you can take a harder hit, and if you guys go down, at least I can still
Right.
heal.
Okay, Flux will start taking all of her gear off and go in for Bellamy and keep Jade company.
Hey, little buddy. If anyone tries to steal that stuff,
Now,
then if you can't fight them off, just pee all over it.
this is
Good
important because as Flux enters, she would lose the benefit of all that magical gear she has equipped. Everybody does, but your belt of giant
No,
strength,
I'm
for
taking-
example.
Yeah, I still have decent strength without that,
yeah.
though.
Now, all those items are off and gone, so they're not damaged. But like I'm saying, yeah, you've got it. Your base stats are pretty high to begin with. But just keep in mind, you're down to just those and probably a longsword.
Yeah.
Just because I say longsword, because longsword, it could be a great sword. I imagine the party must have some basics at this point, but...
I have my dagger.
So then...
Let me just see. Let me, if the way that you're setting this up makes me really want to be careful about what I'm aware of what I have on me. So just give me a couple seconds here.
It's mostly
Unequipped.
the dice rolls are
Literally
gonna
everything.
suck warning.
Yeah.
Because you'll do a roll and it's like, oh, I got 50 bonuses, but none of them apply right now. Hang on. That's the main warning. But whenever you're ready, Dan, by all means, you can roll that sleight of hand check to pick the lock.
Just let me double check that it's only I lose my gloves of thievery. Okay, and you said all artifacts keep their abilities?
No, none.
Not even the artifact grade stuff?
Everything has lost all magical power the second you walked in here. Your sword went silent. Any artifacts you carried in with you seem to have lost all magical power.
Yikes.
All right.
Meanwhile, Dan's like, I hope
I
that's
have a
temporary.
silvered. I have a silvered longsword. Oh, and plate. I have plate armor. I'll wear that.
Nice.
I think that's what I have. I'm just double checking. I still get the benefits from my tomes, right? My tome of gameful exercise and tome of leadership, because those are just permanent boosts, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I thought so.
As well as you would still get the blessing you have, correct?
Yes. Yeah. Because that's yeah. Okay, I'm ready. I have 19 AC and 19 strength. Lux feels a little queasy. All right, just need a second. Tired to go back. Yeah, I'm ready.
Alrighty.
Yeah, I believe I'm at a plus 18 without any magical thing.
Sounds about right for your level.
I have a question. I assume it's magical, so it won't work. But I gotta check just in case we need to boost the Cosmic Omen feature. I guess I assume it's magical, but I'll just send it over in case. Maybe there's some wiggle room there.
I don't see it saying that it's a magical effect for Cosmic Omen. It's just a special reaction.
Okay, so it's more like I've like seen this coming, so I can give a last minute bit of advice. Okay.
Yep.
Right.
The stars have already
Cool.
divined it to you. You've seen the future. That's sort of where it's going there. You hung out with Mad Maggie too much. So yeah, that one's okay.
How many wheels have you used so far, by the way?
3.
3, okay.
Such a
I
nice
get-
feeling.
6.
Yeah. I was just kind of curious.
Alright, I'm just going to roll it as stealth since that's at a plus 18 to save the headaches. But it is the sleight of hand.
Alright.
I check for traps first.
Smart
There
plan.
you go. Right ahead.
Imagine getting this far, then dying to a poison dart in the eye.
Oh god.
What is this?
Oh, a hole opens up beneath him and drops him. 500 feet. Can't fly, can't levitate, can't slow fall. Just 500 feet drop, max damage.
I use my reaction to half that damage.
And then the walls suddenly slam together and crush you. And spike pit and acid and I'll kill you.
A dimension door.
Damn it.
Rocks fall, you die.
DM's like, I hate rogues. Damn it. Good job. You survived. Oh, though, in all seriousness, with a 29 on that check, you have passed, and you have found no traps.
Okay, now I'll pick.
All right. As you lean in and you put your thieves' tools to good use, you notice that this complicated lock is, in fact, 3 separate locks built in together, each requiring the previous to be opened before the next will allow, and failure on one resets it to the default, possibly locking you out. You need to pass 2 more checks to unlock this lock with its arcane power intact. Because your first 34 was a pass. With a 30, you again pass, the runes covering the doors, walls, and etc., changing from their soft shimmer to a bright red. The third lock, the only thing away now. And with a 29, the third and final lock releases. And the bar slides open, unlocking the cage in front of you. And I call it a cage now instead of a display case because as it naturally starts to open and air rushes out from it, you see the arm of the armor slowly shift forward, slamming against the door, readying to rip it open. However, the magical energy permeating this room, the moment you undo that lock, the moment you release the seal, the light changes and shifts, and you can feel your sword breathing back to life on your hip, as the magical energy in this room seems to change drastically, and it screams at you, "Boy, you gotta get out of here! That thing will kill us all!" Because in the next instant, the power emanating from it shifts drastically. Nimbar, give me an Arcana check. And Bellamy, give me a Perception check.
Ooh, guidance.
Alrighty, you roll your guidance too.
Seven.
With a 29 on Arcana, you'd realize now that the magics are no longer being cut out, but worse than that, the source of the flux of magic. Ha ha ha. Sorry, Julian.
It's okay.
What's causing the damage to this area, like the spell plague, is in fact that suit of plate armor. But the power it's radiating, the power that was sealed away. Bellamy, as the only character who has directly communed with gods, who has seen divine magic and power up in its forefront, as that door seal begins to open, the power that radiates out from it is that of the gods, pure, divine, magical energy.
Guys, I think we're in over our heads.
That thing is the thing's causing the spell plague like effects.
And
we're in
hands
trouble.
coming up, gripping onto the glass doors, readying to throw them open. What do you all do?
We've made a classic goof, you guys.
yes, we have.
Yeah, oh. I take it we can't just lock it back up and be like, okay, we tried, bye.
Hey Jade, you can unlock a lock. Can you relock a lock?
Yes, I can.
But if it takes
As
3
Ross.
attempts, that would be at least 20 seconds, wouldn't it?
Wait,
And this monster in front of you is pushing on those doors. We have that brief moment where the DMs essentially pause time.
Flux immediately goes over and starts trying to push back.
There it is.
If each lock requires the previous one to be unlocked, would unlocking the first one lock all three? Would locking the first one lock all three, like a dead switch?
Well, that's an interesting question. However, more importantly is Flux strong enough to hold back a god that's trying to release itself upon the world?
Probably not.
There's one positive plus that I'll give. As you see her racing forward and immediately slamming hands against the plate glass. Jillian, give me a dex save.
Okay.
Flux never felt so happy to have the magic in this area flip backwards as this divine being's... Oh, very good. You do manage to get hands on the door before it opens them, slamming against it with your full form. Talons of your own, because you're draconic, pressing onto the glass, shoving it closed. And you've never been so happy because you can feel the connection to your belt kicking in since the anti-magic switched to flaring magic. So you get that full wonderful strength bonus on an athletics check and on a save.
Okay.
But
So
can
it
you
doesn't
keep-
matter that I took it off because I'm so connected to it, kind of.
Oh.
Is that what you're getting at?
All the magic's reactivated, but it's going crazy and surging. Magical
Right.
effects won't be doubled, they won't be cut in half, they won't be quadrupled, they won't be cut out. It'll be a completely random effect when magic is used. This is worst case scenario. This is like being stuck in the middle of the spell plague at its worst, when magic was online and out of control entirely. This agent of chaos that stands before you, that you desperately try to hold back, you get to find out next week as you do those athletic rolls and Jade tries his sleight of hand check to relock the door.
Could I give her advantage if Alec runs forward to try and help? He's trained in athletics as well.
Oh yeah, two of you can run up and slam
Sure.
onto that door with all you've got, but I'm leaving this one float now, because we'll leave that go as you face off against the armor of Smargod, the Thane of Emerald Dragons. Meanwhile, John's like making 1,000 notes. I must read up on these things.
I like how we're terrified of just his armor, not the being himself. His armor is enough.
Yup.
Yeah. Is he an actual thing?
He is an actual thing.
Okay.
Is he from
100%.
Fizzbands or?
No, he's from older than D&D, and D&D is D&D.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
I heard Gem Dragon and I was like, it's gotta be Fizzbands.
Kind of. It's Fizzband's given me pieces that I needed, but I always plan on introducing these. Because, there's also Aletheos, and that's the Amethyst Dragon's Thane. Hadril for Crystal Dragon. Charisma for the Sapphire, and Tithanos for Topaz. You actually might have heard Lulu drop those names earlier when she was panicking. The 5 Thanes of the Gem Dragons. That's not just nothing. But I will warn you, if you look it up, you're gonna get spoilers. John's like, thank you, I've been waiting. And I know you love your spoilers, man. That's why I'm saying it as well.
Yeah, like I hate not knowing.
He's already got the tabs pulled up and he's looking it up now.
I
you
don't
know
know what you're talking about.
I can tell.
You're not here. You can't see that.
My honest recommendation,
me
if you can
too.
hold out till after the dungeon, you'll have a bunch more answers to work with, and it's a little more fun that way. But, by all means, you can feel free to look this one up, because that's, what you discovered here today is a big piece of it. So,
I'm not sure if I'm going to read it or not. I did open a tab, so that way, because the name I'm going to forget how to spell.
yeah, that's why I threw them up there. Actually, I'll put it in the Discord under handouts.
Can we say that Alec ran over and grabbed my belt and threw it on me as well?
Yes, you can, if he does that for you to get your strength. Ooh, pardon me. That's going to be his interact with object and his action, so he will
Yeah.
not be able to provide aid. So your first roll,
Yeah. No, I'll
it'll
take
just be
the
dry.
advantage over. Yeah, I'll take the advantage over that. That's
But
fine.
We've got
It was
without your
more
belt,
like
you won't get that big strength boost. You'll be a 19 instead of 29, 30.
Oh, I
So-
thought you said that I would get the strength boost because of the magic bus surging.
Oh, but you have to be wearing the belt, right?
yeah.
My
Well,
point-
Oh, I
uh,
do have to be wearing it.
Yeah, I think it has
Okay,
to be
I
on your
got
for it to work.
confused because I thought the way that you were explaining it was that because the
Oh.
magic was surging, even though I wasn't wearing it, I was still connected to it.
Yeah,
Matt,
you're
it's
100% right. I said it exactly like that too. That wasn't what I meant. You're spot on.
No, that's okay. You do whatever you intended to do. I was just asking for clarification. That was all.
The big point was if you brought your gear in with you, it's going to function. So if
No,
someone
I
can get your
wouldn't
belt
have.
on you,
I-
That was the thing
thought
because it's too
we-
dangerous.
I thought I thought that the anti-magic was so strong that it like
Destroyed it. Yeah.
permanently dispelled them.
any
I
of
thought that
the
too. Like,
any magical items brought into this room up to this point, I'll give out this piece before we end for the day, just for the meta knowledge. It can't be triggered now; it's too late. Any magical items brought into this room were eradicated and turned into mundane items.
Right.
Any
okay,
magical spells, effects, etc. are immediately ended upon entering this space. Any artifacts are instead, as you saw with Jade's, are simply silenced. They're completely suppressed inside this field, so the only thing that you hear coming from the sword is a whimper once it's freed. Because it literally tells Jade, get out of here, that thing's godly. And Bellamy's like, yup. Trust me, I know, they
okay.
don't listen to me.
Right. So we
yeah, I
guessed
heard a
right.
bird somewhere. That means it's time to leave.
All right, it's probably Fergus's ball, is it?
Yep.
I gotta,
Maybe.
I gotta take off, guys. I gotta go sort something out.
Alrighty, Kieran.
Okay. Okay.
And that's pretty much it for today's game anyway, so I'll call it there, and you have yourself a good one, Kieran.
Yeah, talk to you guys later. Thanks for the game.
Always a good one, man.
Thanks for the game.
Yep. See.
Yeah.
See ya. Maybe,
Oh,
maybe
really?
you could. Oh, sorry. I was just
Oh.
going to say to Jillian before we load. Maybe you could shout to my imp to fly the belt over.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that could work. We'll approach that though for next week, because yeah, I'd like to leave it on a little bit of a cliffhanger, but
Yep.
a little bit.
yeah.
Or Lulu, like Lulu could as well, probably. Not that I want to put her in danger or anything, but
Yeah. I was just.
we have options.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
The real question is whether or not that armor's getting out and I get a fight out of it, or you're sealing it back in. That's going to be the outcome I can't wait to see for next week. That's the big preview. Find out next time. Will our heroes defiantly stop the armor in its tracks, or will it be a fierce fight? I think that works, yeah.
I mean, part of me is tempted to try and fight it to see if we can give it to Flux, but given how scared the NPCs are, maybe that's a sign. Is like, nope.
As my armor class is like 22, I'm okay.
What? But
Hey,
I appreciate it so much.
my armor class is
Jillian,
25. Catch up.
well, Jillian, what you're failing to realize is you're at 22. You could be higher.
Oh,
God.
Right
This is what it gets us. This is what it gets us. You all never learn.
We just want that Avengers moment where like Negadust is like, oh blah blah blah, I have this, and we just go, yeah, well we have a Flux, and you
Hey, we have access to
True.
magic. Why don't we just try and like plane shift the damn thing
huh?
to destroy its like whatever's keeping it alive, and then just take the armor afterwards?
Do
Oh,
you have
so
management?
what are the chances that
The reason I mentioned,
it's not gonna have LRs?
The reason I mentioned there's no helmet on the armor is so you know the armor's empty. I may
So,
not have been clear
yeah.
about that, sorry. But there's nothing in the armor. It's just an
Yeah.
empty suit of armor, no helmet.
That means there's
Right.
a helmet somewhere to control it.
So we are literally scared of this creature's equipment. No. God help
Oh.
us if we find the creature itself.
Yeah.
It's a dragon. Cut a deal.
Let's assume we have anything to offer it.
I have two things to offer any dragon.
What's that?
The two swords I'm afraid of.
Oh yeah.
Super omnipotent being. Oh, this is a nice sword. Yes, I will take this and I won't harm you. Alright, the amount of time I didn't want to harm you for is over. I'll kill you with this sword now, stab it. Like, son of a...
Aha! Aha! Minor illusion. It is a fake sword.
I don't think a minor illusion's gonna fool a dragon.
And I think the ass kicking it'll give you will still be quite real. Sorry, I had to. That's an easy joke, but that's a good one. Oh my word. Well, we'll pick up on this next week. That was a pretty fun game today. Feel
Yeah,
free to keep
awesome.
searching around. There's lots more left, as you can see. This is quite the large one. And John pointed this one out for the big old pile of leaves down in the other room. You might have noticed there's a tunnel under it. You can just barely see it moving onward. But that's spoilers for next week.
Yeah, I
cool.
definitely noticed it and went, was this supposed to be there?
And I'm like, yep, you'll get to it.
The druid part of me was definitely wanting to check out the leaves, but bigger fish have emerged that need frying.
Oh yeah.
We're going in a little bit of options.
I'm out of me depth.
Yeah. All right, friends. You guys have a good one. I will catch you all next week.
Yep.
Alrighty,
guys.
everyone.
See you guys next week.
Later.
We'll see you all next week. Have yourselves a great one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.